Siwan, Bihar, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's third visit in the span of last 2 months in the state of Bihar. This time, once again, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is all set to dedicate multiple infrastructure and developmental projects worth rupees 5,700 crore. This also includes the Vaishali-Deoria railway line project, which will be built at the cost of rupees 400 crore, which is one of the major projects. A new train service will also be flagged on this route from Patliputra to Gorakhpur, which will be a Vande Bharat Express. So these are various initiatives that are going to be inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on his historic visit to Siwan in Bihar today. Those are visuals coming in live. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is also set to mark a major milestone under the Make in India movement, where he is also going to flag off the first export locomotive manufactured in the Marhovra plant of the Indian Railways. So big railway push also coming in from Bihar this afternoon. And there you have on your screens Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Bihar's Chief Minister Nitish Kumar in a mega show of strength in Siwan, Bihar. Those are live visuals coming in, ladies and gentlemen, from Bihar. I also have my colleague Prakash joining us live on the broadcast. Prakash ji, do tell us the significance about Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Siwan today and the amount of impact that it can potentially have on the electoral prospects of the NDA in the region.
Well, first it was Darbhanga. Now, after that it was Auranga. Now this is the third rally of Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Siwan, where he would be launching the foundation stone of multi-infrastructure and development projects worth rupees 5,700 crore. And thereafter, Prime Minister Modi would be addressing a public gathering, and it will be a significant push for the railway infrastructure. PM will also inaugurate the Vaishali-Deoria railway line project, built at a cost of rupees 400 crore. And a new train service will also be flagged off on this route. And the visit will also witness the flagging of the Patliputra-Gorakhpur Vande Bharat Express, along with several other projects that has to be initiated in the future. And Prime Minister will also inaugurate 6 new sewage treatment plants, collectively built at a price of rupees 1,800 crores. So these are the important projects that will be laid on, and Prime Minister will also lay a foundation stone of 500 megawatt standalone storage units, megawatt battery energy storage system. So all these projects would be initiated in Siwan, and that comprises of the entire Bhojpur belt of Siwan, Saran, Gopalganj, Champaran, including West and East Champaran. And it will be a significant development push, keeping in mind the elections that would be underway in Bihar in October, November. Most likely the model of code of conduct would be initiated in the second week of September, that is after 15th September. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi, along with Nitish Kumar, being the face of the NDA, will lay down the foundation stone and will send a message to the electorate regarding the developmental push, as well as the key constituents of the NDA. So this visit ahead of the elections will definitely give a new impetus and boost to the NDA.
Thank you very much, Prakash ji, for joining us live. Do stay with us as we see the live visuals of Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the vehicle there, waving at a large crowd of JDU and BJP supporters who have once again gathered together for a mega show of strength. As we just heard moments ago from Darbhanga, it was originally, then Aurangabad, and now it is in Siwan, Bihar, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi is in a massive show of strength with the Chief Minister of Bihar, Nitish Kumar. Now both of them on the stage. We also see Bihar's governor there, Arif Mohammad Khan, on the stage, Rajiv Ranjan of the JDU, Chirag Paswan of the LJP, along with the Deputy Chief Ministers, all of them on the stage there together in a massive show of strength in Bihar as the electoral battle for Bihar now heats up. NDA standing united on one stage. Those are the visuals coming in live from Siwan, where moments from now Prime Minister Narendra Modi is all set to announce developmental projects worth rupees 5,700 crore.
जी हाँ, अपने मन में एक लक्ष्य लिए, मंजिल अपनी प्रत्यक्ष लिए, हम तोड़ रहे हैं जंजीरें, हम बदल रहे हैं तस्वीरें। ये नवयुग है, नव भारत है, खुद लिखेंगे अपनी तकदीरें। ये चंद पंक्तियां माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के व्यक्तित्व में समाहित है। जी हाँ, हृदय से स्वागत के पश्चात अब हम स्वागत करना चाहेंगे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का यहाँ की जो हमारी स्थानीय कला है उस कलाकृति से। जी हाँ, सिवान की पारंपरिक हस्तकलाओं में टेराकोटा एवं दोसूती की चर्चा अक्सर होती है। टेराकोटा ग्रामीण शिल्प कला का प्रतीक है, वहीं दोसूती भी विशिष्ट पारंपरिक हस्तकला है जिन्हें लड़कियां व महिलाएं बनाती हैं। विलुप्त होती इस कला को यहाँ के स्थानीय कलाकार जीवंत बनाने में लगे हुए हैं और हम दोसूती की कलाकृति के साथ आग्रह करना चाहेंगे माननीय स्वास्थ्य एवं विधि विभाग के मंत्री श्री मंगल पांडे जी, आपसे अनुरोध है कि माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का स्वागत करें यहाँ की स्थानीय कलाकृति। जी हाँ, जो कि बाबा महेंद्र नाथ मंदिर का बना हुआ है, दुसूती कला है यह और भगवान शिव परिवर्तन के देवता माने जाते हैं। शिव का मतलब ही होता है शुभ। शिव योग, ध्यान और कला के भी देवता है। बहुत बहुत आभार, धन्यवाद। और आइए अब हम अनुरोध करना चाहेंगे चित्रकार श्री रजनीश कुमार एवं आरती देवी जी, आप आएं और माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का स्वागत करने की कृपा करें। यहाँ की पारंपरिक जो कला है टेराकोटा और उससे बनी मृण पात्र से स्वागत करेंगे। आप आएं, माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का स्वागत करने की कृपा करें। जोरदार ताली, क्योंकि ये स्वागत आप सबकी ओर से है। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। ये टेराकोटा से बना हुआ मृण पात्र सुराही स्मृति चिन्ह स्वरूप स्वागत स्वरूप माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी को हमारे कलाकार, यहाँ के स्थानीय कलाकार दे रहे हैं। बहुत बहुत आभार और धन्यवाद प्रकट करते हुए आइए माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का स्वागत हमारे यहाँ के माननीय जनप्रतिनिधि भी करना चाहते हैं और इसके लिए हम अनुरोध करना चाहेंगे श्रीमती संजू देवी मुखिया, पचरुखी पंचायत सिवान, श्रीमती सरिता देवी मुखिया, पंचायत बडरम हुसैनगंज, श्रीमती सुशीला देवी सदस्य ग्राम पंचायत जसौली सिवान, श्रीमती रिंकू देवी पंचायत समिति सदस्य पंचायत भटवलिया पचरुखी सिवान। आपके द्वारा माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी को अंग वस्त्र भेंट किया जा रहा है और जोरदार ताली इस स्वागत में, इस सम्मान में। बहुत बहुत स्वागत और सम्मान माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी सिवान की इस महाधरती पर, डॉक्टर राजेंद्र प्रसाद के इस महाधरती पर आपका हम बहुत बहुत स्वागत, बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन करते हैं। स्वागत के पश्चात आइए अब हम अनुरोध करना चाहेंगे माननीय उप मुख्यमंत्री बिहार श्री सम्राट चौधरी जी, हम आपसे अनुरोध करते हैं कि आप स्वागत संबोधन हेतु आए। माननीय उप मुख्यमंत्री श्री सम्राट चौधरी जी, जोरदार तालियों से माननीयों का स्वागत करें हम सब।
एक बार जोर से बोलिए, भारत माता की, भारत माता की। आज सिवान की इस पावन धरती पर देश के यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री और दुनिया में सर्वश्रेष्ठ और दुनिया में सबसे लोकप्रिय नेता भारत के प्रधानमंत्री आदरणीय नरेंद्र मोदी जी का मैं सिवान की एक एक जनता से आग्रह करता हूं कि ताली बजाकर इनका स्वागत करने का काम कीजिए। साथियों, इस मंच पर बिहार के लोकप्रिय महामहिम
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
כל המיון. תראו את כולם רצים, תראו את האנשים, תראו את האנשים.
Early this morning, an Iranian ballistic missile directly hit the Soroka hospital in Be'er Sheva. This hospital serves over 1 million Israelis, including Bedouins, Jews, Christians, and Arabs alike. Iran targeting civilian centers with ballistic missiles is no surprise for us. They have been openly declaring their desire to destroy the state of Israel for decades now.
את המצב של חמינאי, היטלר המודרני. אדם עומד עשרות שנים בראש מעצמה. יש לו השפעה אידיאולוגית רבה. הוא מפעיל אותה ואומר שהוא בעד השמדת ישראל. הוא מפעיל את כל המשאבים, גם על חשבון העם שלו, למען המטרה. ואנחנו רואים היום הוכחה שהוא באופן אישי נותן הוראה לירות על בתי חולים. साल के शासनकाल में जहां यूपीए ने हमें मात्र 2 लाख करोड़ रुपया भी नहीं दिया था, आज आपके नेतृत्व में लगभग 16 लाख करोड़ रुपया इस बिहार को देने का काम किया है। इसलिए प्रधानमंत्री जी को मैं फिर से स्वागत करता हूं, धन्यवाद देता हूं सिवान की धरती से, बिहार की सरकार की ओर से कि आप इसी तरह फिर बिहार आते रहिए। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
माननीय उप मुख्यमंत्री जी का बहुत बहुत आभार, धन्यवाद स्वागत संबोधन के लिए। आमंत्रण से पूर्व विकास की दिशा में बढ़ता बिहार, नित नई मंजिल चढ़ता बिहार, क्योंकि नेतृत्व माननीय श्री नीतीश कुमार। जी हाँ, मैं बड़े ही सम्मान के साथ माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी से अनुरोध करती हूँ कि कृपया आप आएं और हमें अपना आशीर्वचन भेंट करें, हमारा मार्गदर्शन करें।
बहुत खुशी की बात है कि आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी आज सिवान पधारे हैं। सर्वप्रथम मैं आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी का स्वागत करता हूं, उनका अभिनंदन करता हूं। अब साथ ही यहां उपस्थित हैं बिहार के माननीय राज्यपाल, माननीय केंद्रीय मंत्रीगण, बिहार के उप मुख्यमंत्री एवं अन्य मंत्रीगण, कार्यक्रम में उपस्थित सभी लोगों का मैं हार्दिक अभिनंदन करता हूं। इस अवसर पर आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के द्वारा क्या होने वाला है, 22 नगर विकास की परियोजनाओं, 6 सड़क परियोजनाओं, 1 रेल परियोजनाओं का उद्घाटन एवं शिलान्यास किया जा रहा है। इन सब की कुल लागत 9,518 करोड़ रुपए का है। साथ ही 2 ट्रेन को हरी झंडी दिखाकर रवाना एवं 1 ईंधन निर्यात का शुभारंभ किया जा रहा है। तो एक कुल मिलाकर के इन 32 योजनाओं में बिहार को काफी फायदा होने वाला है। तो इसके लिए हम आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी को हृदय से नमन करता हूं उनको और उनको बधाई देता हूं। और आप सब लोगों को तो मालूम न है जी कि अभी जो अब हम लोगों की सरकार बनी, एनडीए की सरकार, आज जिसमें जो सरकार बनी 24 नवंबर 2005 को, उसमें बीजेपी और जनता दल यू के लोग थे। ये सब आज भी और लोग भी हैं, सब लोग हैं। तो आप जानते हैं कि हम लोगों की जो सरकार बनी तो तब से तो हम लोगों ने पूरे बिहार के लिए सारा काम किया है। लेकिन याद करिए, जब हम लोगों को, आप लोगों ने और पूरे बिहार ने ये मौका दिया, हम लोगों को एनडीए में, लेकिन उसके बाद जो बोलिए कि उसके पहले वाले जितने थे, अब आजकल अनाप शनाप चारों तरफ प्रचार प्रसार करता रहता है। ये
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
כל המיון. תראו את כולם רצים, תראו את האנשים, תראו את האנשים.
Early this morning, an Iranian ballistic missile directly hit the Soroka hospital in Be'er Sheva. This hospital serves over 1 million Israelis, including Bedouins, Jews, Christians, and Arabs alike. Iran targeting civilian centers with ballistic missiles is no surprise for us. They have been openly declaring their desire to destroy the state of Israel for decades now.
למצב של חמינאי, היטלר המודרני. אדם עומד עשרות שנים בראש מעצמה. יש לו השפעה אידיאולוגית רבה. הוא מפעיל אותה ואומר שהוא בעד השמדת ישראל. הוא מפעיל את כל המשאבים גם על חשבון העם שלו למען המטרה. ואנחנו רואים היום הוכחה שהוא באופן אישי נותן הוראה לאיראן.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Live and Breaking with me, Krutar Patnaik. We'll be shortly moving to Prime Minister Narendra Modi's big address coming in Siwan. However, in the interim, here's a report on Operation Langra, which is now in full swing, with Yogi Adityanath's police making another arrest following an exchange of gunfire. Here's the latest report that is coming in from Hapur.
Operation Langra is in full swing, with Uttar Pradesh police intensifying its crackdown on criminals. In Hapur's Simbauli area, an encounter broke out during a routine checking operation. Police retaliated after coming under fire and managed to arrest a wanted criminal in an injured condition. The accused is involved in a cow slaughter case and had been absconding for several weeks. From the site, police recovered illegal arms, live and spent cartridges, and a motorcycle used by the accused.
आज रात्रि थाना सिंबाली पुलिस द्वारा बक्सर रेगुलेटर मार्ग पर चेकिंग की जा रही थी, जहां एक संदिग्ध को रोकने का प्रयास करने पर वह भागने लगा तथा पुलिस पार्टी पर फायर किया। पुलिस पार्टी द्वारा आत्मरक्षा की गई फायरिंग में अभियुक्त जाहिद, जो कि ग्राम हसूपुर थाना गढ़मुक्तेश्वर का रहने वाला है, उसके पैर में गोली लगी है। उसके पास से एक तमंचा, एक खोखा कारतूस तथा एक जिंदा कारतूस तथा एक बाइक बरामद हुई है। वह थाना सिंबाली के गोकशी के मुकदमे में वांछित चल रहा था तथा उस पर लगभग 1 दर्जन मुकदमे पंजीकृत हैं। अभियुक्त को अस्पताल इलाज हेतु भिजवा दिया गया तथा आवश्यक विधिक कार्रवाई कराई जा रही है।
The injured man is now under treatment and further legal action is underway. The encounter adds to a growing list of police actions as part of Operation Langra aimed at zero tolerance against repeat offenders.
पुलिस टीम के द्वारा आत्मरक्षा की गई फायरिंग में एक बदमाश, जिसका नाम शहबाज अली उर्फ अली खान है, के पैर में गोली लगी है। इस मुठभेड़ में एक पुलिसकर्मी भी घायल हुआ है। घायल बदमाश को उसके 2 साथियों सिकंदर व अमन अंसारी के साथ 2 315 बोर तमंचे, 2 खोखा कारतूस, 2 जिंदा कारतूस, 1 चाकू, कुछ रुपए व लूट के 1 मोबाइल के साथ गिरफ्तार किया गया है। घायल बदमाश व घायल पुलिसकर्मी को अस्पताल के इलाज के लिए अस्पताल भेजा गया है।
विमल में गुलिस्तां की ये कुछ लजीज फरिश्ते जब साथ घुले तो जी ललचाए और दिल कहे कि स्वाद की इस जुबान में खुद को ऐसा डुबाऊं कि निकल ना पाऊं। विमल की जुबान कुछ है ही ऐसी, मानते हैं ना? विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
כל המיון. תראה את כולם רצים, תראו את האנשים, תראו את האנשים.
Early this morning, an Iranian ballistic missile directly hit the Soroka hospital in Be'er Sheva. This hospital serves over 1 million Israelis, including Bedouins, Jews, Christians, and Arabs alike. Iran targeting civilian centers with ballistic missiles is no surprise for us. They have been openly declaring their desire to destroy the state of Israel for decades now.
This week on Get Me Right is G7 dead, with its decisions having no impact, dwindling economic clout, and the rise of the global south. Is the club of the rich seven becoming just a talk shop? And then we take a look at the impact on India's energy security of the intensifying Middle East conflict, with almost half of India's oil and gas needs coming in through the Strait of Hormuz. What happens in case of disruptions? Finally, is setting up of campuses by foreign universities in India a good strategy to improve overall standards of college degrees in the country? Join me this Saturday and Sunday only on Republic TV.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Very good afternoon. You're watching live and breaking on Republic TV. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor. There have been number of cancellations since morning as far as Air India flights are concerned. That is our big story this afternoon. Let's also take a look at the other big stories we are tracking in the headlines. Spate of Air India flight cancellations yet again. 7 Air India domestic and international flights cancelled due to maintenance and operational issues. Israel-Iran conflict enters the second week. Tit-for-tat strikes continue. Massive damage in southern Israel.
प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने ऑथराइज किया आर्म फोर्सेस को, डिटेल तय हो गई कि हमने क्या रोल आउट करना है, और वो हमने 4 बजे के बाद शुरू किया। ये उनकी फिर एक बदकिस्मती मैं कहूँगा इंडिया की कि उन्होंने 2:30 बजे फिर वही हरकत कर दी कि जी नूर खान एयरबेस पे, शोरकोट एयरबेस पे, 2 एयरपोर्ट्स पे उन्होंने फिर अटैक किए उसी रात को, 6 और 7 की दरमियानी रात को।
Pakistan's Deputy Prime Minister makes a big admission, confirms India hit 2 key air bases during Operation Sindoor. Second leg of Operation Langra continues in Uttar Pradesh. Criminals are shot in encounters in 10 cities. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi in poll-bound Bihar holds a massive roadshow to address a public rally next. And we have breaking news coming in from Chhattisgarh in the Langra region, where an encounter between Maoists and security forces is currently underway. One Maoist has been killed and the body has been recovered. Senior Superintendent of Police Indra Kalyan said that encounter is still going on. So, big story coming in from Chhattisgarh, Langra, where an encounter between the Maoists and security forces is underway at the moment. And one Maoist has been killed in this encounter. However, the encounter is still ongoing. All right, our colleague is joining us live from Bastar. Bharat Durgam is joining us live from Bastar for more details. Bharat, can you tell us about the ongoing encounter? We understand that one Maoist has been killed. What more details are emerging right now?
देखिए, मैं आपको बता दूं कि कांकेर जिले के अंतर्गत छोटे बेटिया थाना क्षेत्र के अंतर्गत आमाटोला एक गांव पड़ता है। आमाटोला के जंगलों में पुलिस और माओवादियों के बीच में मुठभेड़ जो है वो चल रही है। इस दरमियान इस मुठभेड़ में एक तरीके से पुलिस और नक्सलियों के बीच में जबरदस्त जो मुठभेड़ है वो देखने को मिल रही है, जिसकी गोलियों की आवाज दूर दूर तक गूंज जो है वो देखने को मिल रही है, जिसमें पुलिस और माओवादियों के बीच में जिस तरीके से मुठभेड़ चल रही है, उस मुठभेड़ में एक पुलिस के जवानों ने एक नक्सलियों को ढेर किया है, जिनका शव भी बरामद कर लिया गया है। लगातार फायरिंग चल रही थी। बताया जा रहा था कि बड़ी बड़ी जो माओवादी हैं, बड़े कैडर के जो माओवादी हैं, उनकी मौजूदगी आमाटोला के जंगलों में है, जिसकी सूचना पे पुलिस उस इलाके पे एंटी नक्सल ऑपरेशन पे निकलती है। लगातार फायरिंग चलती है, मुठभेड़ करती है। लगातार जो माओवादी हैं वो भी फायरिंग करने की कोशिश करते हैं, जिसका मुंह तोड़ जवाबी कार्रवाई के तौर पे पुलिस जो है वहां पर डट के सामना करती है और एक तरीके से एक सफलता पुलिस को भी मिलती है कि एक नक्सली को पुलिस के जवानों ने ढेर कर दिया है, जिसका शव को पकांजूर थाना क्षेत्र लाया गया है, जहां पे उसकी विवेचना की जाएगी। कितने लाख का इनामी नक्सली था, क्या क्या हालात बने हुए थे, किन किन घटनाओं में वो शामिल था, इन तमाम विषयों को लेकर विवेचना करने के पश्चात उसकी माओवादी के शव को कांकेर जिला भेज दिया जाएगा। हालांकि उस पूरे इलाके पे अभी भी मुठभेड़ की अगर बात की जाए तो सघन जो सर्चिंग है वो जारी है और पुलिस के जवानों की, कुछ जवानों की उस इलाके से वापसी भी हो गई है। बड़ी खबर है, रिपब्लिक भारत में एक्सक्लूसिव तस्वीरें हम आपको दिखाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। पुलिस के वो जवान जिन्होंने शौर्य का परिचय दिया है, शौर्य की गाथा हम आपको बताने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। लगातार जिस इलाके पे मुठभेड़ हुई, मुठभेड़ के बाद किस तरीके से पुलिस के जवान कंधे में लांद कर जो नक्सली का शव है उसको लेके आ रहे हैं। तस्वीर आप देख रहे होंगे किस तरीके से जवान उस इलाके पे तैनात थे। छोटे मोटे नक्सली नहीं, बताया जा रहा था पुलिस की जो इंटेलिजेंस सोर्स के अनुसार माने जाए तो उस इलाके पे नक्सलियों की बड़ी एक टोली मौजूद थी, जिसकी सूचना पे पुलिस उस पूरे इलाके पे निकली थी। जिस तरीके से मुठभेड़ हुआ, इस मुठभेड़ में जो खबर बाहर निकल के आ रही थी कि 2 नक्सलियों को पुलिस के जवानों ने ढेर किया, लेकिन जो अपडेट है, जो एसपी जो है जो पुष्टि कर रहे हैं, बताया जा रहा है कि एक नक्सली को पुलिस के जवानों ने ढेर कर दिया है, जिनको शव को लेके पकांजूर थाना क्षेत्र लाया जा रहा है। वह विवेचना के बाद उसको कांकेर भेज दिया जाएगा। जी।
All right. Also, give us the details on the kind of arms and ammunition that have also been recovered in this operation so far.
बिल्कुल, देखिए जब भी इस तरीके का ऑपरेशन होता है तो पहले से रणनीति तय की जाती है। लगातार हम देख रहे हैं कि किस तरीके का हालात और परिस्थितियां बन रही है। देश के जो गृह मंत्री है, होम मिनिस्टर अमित शाह ने डेडलाइन तय किया है 31 मार्च 2026 तक माओवाद को समाप्त कर दिया जाएगा, जिसके तर्ज पे ये पूरा ऑपरेशन चलाया जा रहा है। पहली ऑपरेशन नहीं, उस इलाके की अगर बात की जाए, आपाटोला की अगर बात की जाए, वहां पे बड़ी कैजुअलिटी माओवादियों की हुई थी। उसके बाद या फिर बात की जाए फिर छोटे बेटिया की अगर बात की जाए, उस इलाके में बड़ी कैजुअलिटी माओवादियों की हुई है। लगातार हम देख रहे हैं कि टीसीओसी के महीनों में, यानी जो नक्सलियों का जो टैक्टिकल होता है उस इलाके पे, जब भी जो गर्मी का जब वक्त आता है उस दरमियान जो माओवादी हैं बड़े बड़े घटनाओं को अंजाम देने में फिराक रहते हैं। लेकिन अब 1 साल से अमूमन हम देख रहे हैं कि बीजेपी की सरकार आने के बाद माओवादी जो है उनकी जो रीढ़ जो है वो टूटते हुए नजर आ रही है। बड़े बड़े घटनाओं को वो अंजाम देने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, लेकिन विफल हो जा रहे हैं और बड़ी कैजुअलिटी माओवादियों को देखने को मिल रही है। कहीं ना कहीं जो पुलिस की रणनीति अगर बात की जाए या फिर जो इंटेलिजेंस है, जो सोर्स है, उस पर एक तरीके से तबादला ये देखा जा रहा है। तभी ये मुमकिन है कि किस तरीके से ऑपरेशन चल रही है इस ऑपरेशन में पुलिस को सफलता मिल रही है। जी।
All right. Thank you so much for those details there, Bharat. We'll keep coming back to you for more on that story. And viewers, we have more breaking news coming in, and this is related to the Ahmedabad crash case. BCAS has sought more details from Air India. It has sought records of CCTV, maintenance, log sheet, engineer ground team, cargo unit and fuel refilling teams. All these details have been sought from Air India by BCAS. That is, BCAS has asked Air India to provide all the names and also the details of the people who were involved in even small checks of AMD Gatwick crashed plane. Remember, this plane crashed just a few seconds after takeoff from the Ahmedabad airport, and all the people on board except one died in that crash. An investigation is ongoing, and in between that, the Bureau of Civil Aviation Security has sought details from Air India about all the details it has sought about technicalities, about the people who were making even small checks. Harsha, our colleague, is now joining us live for more details. Harsha, now BCAS has sought details from Air India. How will this information really help the Bureau of Security in understanding what really went wrong on that plane, on that ill-fated flight that crashed near Ahmedabad?
So Aishwarya, we have the big breaking update from the Bureau of Civil Aviation Security, because this is the second time when Bureau of Civil Aviation Security have given the letter and the mail to the Air India asking them about the security details of the flight Air India, about the Gatwick bound flight which crashed, and who all were deployed to do the line checks in that particular aircraft. Now the mail clearly states that the BCAS needs the security detail from Air India, which means the CCTV CCTV access, the engineers who were employed in the who were deployed for the line check, the engineering team who has done the internal checking of the aircraft, also the cargo team, and also the fuel refilling team as well. And this will help BCAS to investigate and inquire all these officials, all these engineering department people, and exactly know what went wrong inside the aircraft AI-171, who were the last set of team deployed in the aircraft maintenance and servicing in the line checks. And if something was found, if there was some technical snag, if something was found which was faulty, which was not fixed at that time, whether it was maintained in the log sheet and the maintenance record or not, that is what BCAS is looking into. So the Air India is yet to respond to BCAS about all these details on mail, and once Air India mails to the BCAS about each and every name of the person and the team involved, after that the questioning will begin from the set of these officials and people, the line check department people who have done the maintenance check. And this becomes very important because again and again it is coming out, there's speculations running floating everywhere that there was some power failure, there was engine issue, there was a landing gear issue. These are just mere speculation, but what is the depth of the problem, that BCAS will know once the BCAS interrogate this set of officials of the engineering department, the cargo department, and to CCTV footage the last minute of the line checks inside this aircraft. Back to you.
Right. Thank you so much, Harsha, for all those details there. Let's also get an insight. Dr. Sumit Suseelan, who's an aviation expert, is now joining us in the broadcast. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us here on Republic TV. Sir, we'd like to know from you, how critical are these maintenance logs? We talk about the CCTV footage and the detailed ground team records as far as investigating these aviation incidents like the AMD Gatwick crash. And what can these records really reveal that might not be obvious from the physical aircraft inspection alone?
It's a very regular protocol to check about the logbook, and every professional were attached with this aircraft before the takeoff. So normally we have like night guarding in the aircraft. So even the security department is a very important department who are gonna check who all entered the aircraft. Even the line check and base maintenance department. Everyone signed the logbook before they touch the aircraft. So the BCAS is following a protocol where they check all the detail who all had did maintenance and repair in this aircraft. That is the only way we can come to know who all were the engineers involved on the repair of this aircraft, because we can easily say there is some technical fault in this. So now after the BCAS, they go through the checks and they get the report that how many engineers have repaired it. Then the questions will be asked by that particular engineering department, engineering staff, that what checks are gone through this aircraft and what type of error you found which is not rectified, if it's not rectified. So that's we are expecting, and we are expecting the report within 48 hours, I think. No.
All right. Thank you so much for those insights on that big story. And viewers, we have more breaking news coming in, and again related to Air India. Now, Air India has issued a statement saying that multiple international flights have been cancelled. It has given the details of the flights that have been cancelled. The Air India flight AI-906 from Dubai to Chennai, AI-308 from Delhi to Melbourne, AI-309 from Melbourne to Delhi, AI-2204 from Dubai to Hyderabad. Also domestic flights, AI-874 from Pune to Delhi, AI-456 from Ahmedabad to Delhi, AI-2872 from Hyderabad to Mumbai. So Air India has issued a big statement and it has mentioned all the flights that have been cancelled so far. Let's get all the details. Harsha is joining us from the national capital. Harsha, what is the statement that Air India has issued? We understand it has mentioned the number of flights and that have been cancelled, but are we talking about cancellations due to some technical issues, or what else is the reason being given?
So it's this news and this breaking update which we are getting is a huge, because 26 flights of Air India cancelled in just one day. There are 3 Air India Express aircraft as well, and right now we have all the information, because 11 of them were international and 15 of them were domestic. Not only this, the international routes, several had technical snag. The entire sheet which Republic has accessed, we have the names of the aircraft. We have names that like San Francisco, like San Francisco and everywhere. So moreover, we have got to know that several flights of Air India has been cancelled, and most of them are because of the technical snag which has been found and reported in multiple flights. And this is not today. Since the time of the crash, we have been reporting every day that how most of Air India aircrafts have reported huge technical snags, and some were mid-air, some were airborne, and they turned back also because of the technical snag. So what we are looking is into the intensity of the technical snags, the repeated technical snags which have been reported from each and every flight and aircraft of Air India, be it the Boeing fleet, be it the Air 320 bus. Most of the aircraft have reported this issue in the Air India flight, and that's the reason why passengers are facing huge trouble. And in a way, that's a harassment for passengers as well, who go to the airport to board their flight, and some have been boarded also, then again deboarded because of the technical snag. So this is what Air India has to look into, because now their flight operation internationally has been cut off to 15%. The overall flight operation by DGCA, they have been asked to reduce to 30%. So now Air India really have to solve their faulty equipment issue, the technical issue, which are now then erupting and being reported from most of their aircrafts internationally and domestically. Back to you.
Right, Harsha.
बिहार के राज्यपाल श्रीमान आरिफ मोहम्मद खान जी, यहां की जनता की सेवा में समर्पित मुख्यमंत्री श्रीमान नीतीश कुमार जी, केंद्रीय मंत्रिमंडल में मेरे साथी जीतन राम मांझी जी, गिरिराज सिंह जी, ललन सिंह जी, चिराग पासवान जी, रामनाथ ठाकुर जी, नित्यानंद राय जी, सतीश चंद्र दुबे जी, राजभूषण चौधरी जी, बिहार के उप मुख्यमंत्री सम्राट चौधरी जी, विजय कुमार सिन्हा जी, संसद के मेरे साथी उपेंद्र कुशवाहा जी, बिहार बीजेपी के अध्यक्ष दिलीप जायसवाल जी, अन्य मंत्रीगण, सांसद और विधायकगण और मेरे प्यारे बिहार के भाई और बहनों, सिवान की ये धरती हमारे स्वतंत्रता संग्राम की प्रेरक स्थली है। ये हमारे लोकतंत्र को, देश को, संविधान को ताकत देने वाली भूमि है। सिवान ने राजेंद्र बाबू जैसी महान संतान देश को दी। संविधान निर्माण से लेकर देश को दिशा दिखाने में राजेंद्र बाबू की बहुत बड़ी भूमिका रही। सिवान ने ब्रज किशोर प्रसाद जी जैसे महान समाज सुधारक भी देश को दिए। ब्रजबाबू ने महिला सशक्तिकरण को अपने जीवन का मकसद बनाया था। साथियों, मुझे खुशी है ऐसी ही महान आत्माओं के जीवन मिशन को एनडीए की डबल इंजन सरकार दृढ़ निश्चय के साथ आगे बढ़ा रही है। आज का ये कार्यक्रम इन्हीं प्रयासों का हिस्सा है। आज इस मंच से हजारों करोड़ रुपए की योजनाओं का शिलान्यास और लोकार्पण हुआ है। विकास की ये सारी परियोजनाएं बिहार को उज्जवल भविष्य की तरफ ले जाएगी, समृद्ध बिहार बनाएगी। सिवान, सासाराम, बक्सर, मोतिहारी, बेतिया और आरा जैसे बिहार के सारे इलाके फले फूले। इस दिशा में ये प्रोजेक्ट बड़ी भूमिका निभाएंगे। इनसे गरीब, वंचित, दलित, महादलित, पिछड़े, अति पिछड़े, हर समाज का जीवन आसान होगा। मैं बिहार की जनता को, आप सभी को इन प्रोजेक्ट्स के लिए बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं। मैं अभी जब आप लोगों के बीच से आ रहा था, अभी कल ही बारिश हुई, सुबह भी थोड़ा बारिश का लाभ आया। इसके बावजूद भी इतनी बड़ी मात्रा में आपका आना, हमें आशीर्वाद देना, मैं आपका हृदय से जितना धन्यवाद करूं उतना कम है। भाइयों बहनों, जैसे आप सब जानते हैं, मैं कल ही विदेश से लौटा हूं। इस दौर में मेरी दुनिया के बड़े बड़े समृद्ध देशों के नेताओं से बात हुई। सारे नेता भारत की तेज प्रगति से बहुत प्रभावित है। वो भारत को दुनिया की तीसरी बड़ी आर्थिक महाशक्ति बनते देख रहे हैं और निश्चित तौर पर इसमें बिहार की बहुत बड़ी भूमिका होने वाली है। बिहार समृद्ध होगा और देश की समृद्धि में भी बड़ी भूमिका निभाएगा। साथियों, मेरे इस विश्वास का कारण बिहार के आप सभी लोगों का सामर्थ्य है। आपने मिलकर बिहार में जंगल राज का सफाया किया है। यहां के हमारे नौजवानों ने तो 20 साल पहले के बिहार की बदहाली सिर्फ किस्सों और कथाओं में ही सुनी है। उन्हें बहुत अंदाजा नहीं है कि जंगल राज वालों ने बिहार की क्या हालत बना दी थी। जिस बिहार ने सदियों तक भारत की प्रगति को नेतृत्व दिया, उसको पंजे और लालटेन के शिकंजे ने पलायन का प्रतीक बना दिया था। साथियों, बिहार के रहने वाले हर व्यक्ति के लिए सबसे बड़ी बात होती है उसका स्वाभिमान। मेरे बिहारी भाई बहन कठिन से कठिन परिस्थिति में काम करके दिखा देते हैं। वो कभी अपने स्वाभिमान से समझौता नहीं करते। लेकिन पंजे और लालटेन वालों ने मिलकर बिहार के स्वाभिमान को बहुत ठेस पहुंचाई। इन लोगों ने ऐसी लूट खसोट मचाई कि गरीबी बिहार का दुर्भाग्य बन गई। अनेक चुनौतियों को पार करते हुए नीतीश जी के नेतृत्व में एनडीए सरकार बिहार को विकास की पटरी पर वापस लाई है। और मैं बिहार वासियों को विश्वास देने आया हूं, हमने भले बहुत कुछ किया हो, करते रहे हैं, करते रहेंगे, लेकिन इतने से शांत होकर के चुप रहने वाला मोदी नहीं है। अब बहुत हो गया, बहुत कर लिया जी नहीं, मुझे तो बिहार के लिए और भी बहुत कुछ करना है। आपके लिए करना है, यहां के गांव गांव के लिए करना है, यहां के घर घर के लिए करना है, यहां के हर नौजवान के लिए करना है।
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील टीएमटी बार एकदम सॉलिड।
पहाड़ों में हाइकिंग शिप भी बन सकती है।
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी एमडीएच का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला। सिप सिप जीरा सिप जीरा सिप एमडीएच का जल जीरा सिप एमडीएच का जल जीरा सिप।
כל המיון. תראו את כולם רצים, תראו את האנשים, תראו את האנשים.
Early this morning, an Iranian ballistic missile directly hit the Soroka hospital in Be'er Sheva. This hospital serves over 1 million Israelis, including Bedouins, Jews, Christians, and Arabs alike. Iran targeting civilian centers with ballistic missiles is no surprise for us. They have been openly declaring their desire to destroy the state of Israel for decades now.
करोड़ भारतीयों ने गरीबी को पराजित किया है। वर्ल्ड बैंक जैसी दुनिया की जानी मानी संस्थाएं भारत की इस बड़ी उपलब्धि की प्रशंसा कर रही है और भारत ने जो ये कमाल किया है, इसमें बिहार का यहां हमारे नीतीश जी की सरकार का बहुत बड़ा योगदान है। पहले बिहार की आधे से अधिक आबादी बहुत अधिक गरीब की श्रेणी में आती थी, लेकिन बीते दशक में बिहार के करीब 4.25 करोड़ साथियों ने खुद को गरीबी से मुक्त किया है। साथियों, आजादी के इतने दशकों तक भी इतने लोग गरीब थे, नारे गूंजते रहे, गरीबी बढ़ती रही। और ये इसलिए नहीं हुआ कि बिहार के लोगों की मेहनत में कोई कमी थी, देशवासियों की मेहनत में कोई कमी थी, बल्कि इसलिए क्योंकि इनके सामने आगे बढ़ने का कोई रास्ता नहीं था। लंबे समय तक कांग्रेस के लाइसेंस राज ने देश को गरीब रखा और गरीब को अति गरीबी में धकेल दिया। जब हर चीज के लिए कोटा परमिट फिक्स था, छोटे छोटे काम करने के लिए परमिट चाहिए होता था, कांग्रेस आरजेडी के राज में गरीब को घर नहीं मिलता था, राशन बिचौलिए खा जाते थे, इलाज गरीब की पहुंच से दूर था, पढ़ाई और कमाई के लिए संघर्ष था, बिजली पानी का एक कनेक्शन लगाने के लिए ही सरकारी दफ्तरों के अनगिनत चक्कर लगाने पड़ते थे। गैस कनेक्शन के लिए सांसदों की सिफारिश लगानी पड़ती थी। नौकरी बिना घूस, बिना सिफारिश के मिलती ही नहीं थी। और इसके सबसे बड़े भुक्तभोगी कौन थे? इनमें से ज्यादातर साथी मेरे दलित समाज के, महादलित समाज के, पिछड़े समाज के, अति पिछड़े समाज के, यही मेरे भाई बहन इसके शिकार हुए थे। इन्हें गरीबी हटाने का सपना दिखाकर खुद कुछ परिवार करोड़पति, अरबपति हो गए। साथियों, बीते 11 वर्षों से हमारी सरकार गरीब के रास्ते की हर मुश्किल को दूर करने में जुटी है और आगे भी करती रहेगी। और इतनी मेहनत करते हैं तब ऐसे अच्छे परिणाम आज देखने को मिल रहे हैं। अब जैसे गरीबों के लिए आवास है, अभी जिन परिवारों को मुझे आवास की चाबी देने का मौका मिला, वो इतने आशीर्वाद दे रहे थे, उनके चेहरे पर इतना संतोष था, भाव विभोर थे। साथियों, बीते दशक में देश भर में 4 करोड़ से अधिक गरीबों को पक्के घर मिल चुके हैं। मैं आपको पूछूं, जवाब देंगे आप लोग? मैं अगर पूछूं तो आप जवाब देंगे? मैंने अभी कहा 4 करोड़ लोगों को, यानी 4 करोड़ परिवारों को पक्के घर। कितने लोगों को? जरा जोर से बोलिए, कितने लोगों को? कितने लोगों को? आप कल्पना कीजिए, 4 करोड़ लोगों को पक्के घर मिलना। सिर्फ वो 4 दीवारें नहीं है, उन घरों में सपने सजते हैं, उन घरों में संकल्प पलते हैं। आने वाले समय में 3 करोड़ और पक्के घर तैयार होने जा रहे हैं। मैंने पहले कहा ना, सेवा के काम में मैं रुकने वाला नहीं हूं। जितना हुआ पहले वालों से बहुत अच्छा हुआ, फिर भी मोदी चैन की नींद नहीं सोएगा, वो दिन रात काम करता रहेगा, आपके लिए करता रहेगा, क्योंकि आप मेरे परिवार के सदस्य हैं और मेरे परिवार का एक भी सदस्य पीछे न रहे, दुखिया न रहे, ये मैं सपना लेकर के चला हूं। इसका बहुत अधिक फायदा बिहार के मेरे गरीब भाई बहन, दलित भाई बहन, महादलित भाई बहन, पिछड़े भाई बहन, अति पिछड़े भाई बहन, ये सारे जो योजनाएं चला रहा हूं, सबसे पहले फायदा इनको मिल रहा है। बिहार में पीएम आवास योजना से 57 लाख से ज्यादा पक्के घर बने। यहां सीवान जिले में भी गरीबों के 1,10,000 से ज्यादा पक्के घर बन चुके। मैं एक जिले की बात बोल रहा हूं और ये काम निरंतर जारी है। आज भी बिहार के 50,000 से अधिक परिवारों के लिए घर की किस्त जारी की गई है। और जानते हैं मेरे लिए दोहरी खुशी किस बात की है? ये घर ज्यादातर माताओं बहनों के नाम पर है। मेरी जिन बहनों बेटियों के नाम पर कभी कोई भी संपत्ति नहीं होती थी, अब वो अपने घर की मालकिन बन रही है। साथियों, हमारी सरकार घर के साथ साथ मुफ्त राशन, बिजली और पानी की सुविधा भी दे रही है। बीते सालों में देश भर में 12 करोड़ से अधिक नए परिवारों के घर नल पहुंचा है। इसमें सिवान के भी 4.5 लाख से अधिक परिवारों को पहली बार नल से जल मिला है। गांवों में हर घर में नल हो, शहरों में पीने के लिए पर्याप्त पानी हो, हम इस लक्ष्य को लेकर काम कर रहे हैं। बीते सालों में बिहार के अनेक शहरों के लिए पानी की पाइपलाइन और सीवेज ट्रीटमेंट प्रोजेक्ट बनाए गए। अब दर्जनों और शहरों के लिए पाइपलाइन और सीवेज ट्रीटमेंट प्लांट स्वीकृत किए गए हैं। ये सारे प्रोजेक्ट गरीब और मध्यम वर्ग के परिवारों का जीवन और बेहतर बनाएंगे। भाई और बहनों, आरजेडी कांग्रेस की करतूतें, इनके कारनामे बिहार विरोधी हैं, निवेश विरोधी है। जब भी अपने मुंह से ये लोग विकास की बात करते हैं तो लोगों को दुकान, कारोबार, उद्योग, धंधे सब में ताले लटकते नजर आते हैं। इसलिए ये बिहार के नौजवानों के दिल में कभी भी जगह नहीं बना पाए। ये लोग बेहाल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, माफिया राज, गुंडा राज और भ्रष्टाचार के पोषक रहे हैं। साथियों, बिहार का प्रतिभाशाली नौजवान आज जमीन पर होने वाला काम देख रहा है, उसे परख रहा है। एनडीए कैसा बिहार बना रही है, इसका उदाहरण मढ़ौरा रेल फैक्ट्री है। आज मढ़ौरा की लोकोमोटिव फैक्ट्री से पहला इंजन अफ्रीका को एक्सपोर्ट किया जा रहा है। यह अफ्रीका जाएगा, वहां की गाड़ी को खींचेगा। आप सोचिए, अफ्रीका में भी बिहार का जय जयकार होने वाला है। ये फैक्ट्री उसी सारण जिले में बनी है जिसको पंजे और आरजेडी वालों ने पिछड़ा कहकर अपने हाल पर छोड़ दिया था। आज ये जिला दुनिया के मैन्युफैक्चरिंग और एक्सपोर्ट मैप पर अपनी जगह बना चुका है। जंगल राज वालों ने तो बिहार का विकास इंजन ही ठप कर दिया था। अब बिहार में बना इंजन अफ्रीका की रेल चलाएगा। ये बहुत बड़े गर्व की बात है। मुझे पक्का विश्वास है बिहार मेड इन इंडिया का एक बड़ा सेंटर बनेगा। यहां का मखाना, यहां के फल सब्जियां तो बाहर जाएंगी ही। बिहार के कारखानों में बनने वाला सामान भी दुनिया के बाजारों तक पहुंचेगा। बिहार के नौजवान जो सामान बनाएंगे वो आत्मनिर्भर भारत को ताकत देगा। साथियों, इसमें बिहार में बन रहा आधुनिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बहुत काम आएगा। आज बिहार में रोड, रेल, हवाई यात्रा और जलमार्ग, हर प्रकार के इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का पर अभूतपूर्व निवेश हो रहा है। बिहार को लगातार नई ट्रेनें मिल रही है। यहां वंदे भारत जैसी आधुनिक ट्रेनें चल रही है। आज हम एक और बड़ी शुरुआत करने जा रहे हैं। सावन शुरू होने से पहले आज बाबा हरिहरनाथ की धरती वंदे भारत ट्रेन से बाबा गोरखनाथ की धरती से जुड़ गई है। पटना से गोरखपुर की नई वंदे भारत ट्रेन पूर्वांचल के शिव भक्तों को मिली नई सवारी है। ये ट्रेन भगवान बुद्ध की तपोभूमि को उनकी महापरिनिर्वाण भूमि कुशीनगर से जोड़ने का भी माध्यम है। साथियों, ऐसे प्रयासों से बिहार में उद्योग धंधों को तो बल मिलेगा ही, इससे पर्यटन को सबसे अधिक फायदा होगा। इससे दुनिया के टूरिज्म मैप में भी बिहार और अधिक निखर कर सामने आएगा। यानी बिहार के नौजवानों के लिए रोजगार के अनगिनत अवसर बनने वाले हैं। साथियों, देश में सबको आगे बढ़ने के अवसर मिले, किसी के साथ भी भेदभाव न हो, ये हमारे संविधान की भावना है। हम भी इसी भाव से कहते हैं, सबका साथ, सबका विकास। लेकिन लालटेन और पंजे वाले कहते हैं, परिवार का साथ, परिवार का विकास। हम कहते हैं, सबका साथ, सबका विकास। वो कहते हैं, परिवार का साथ, परिवार का विकास। इनकी राजनीति का कुल जमा निचोड़ यही है, अपने अपने परिवारों के हित के लिए ये देश के बिहार के करोड़ों परिवारों का अहित करने से भी नहीं चूकते हैं। खुद बाबा साहब आंबेडकर भी इस प्रकार की राजनीति के बिल्कुल खिलाफ थे। इसलिए लोग कदम कदम पर बाबा साहब का अपमान करते हैं। अभी पूरे देश ने देखा है कि आरजेडी वालों ने बाबा साहब की तस्वीर के साथ क्या व्यवहार किया। मैं देख रहा था, बिहार में पोस्टर लगे हैं कि बाबा साहब के अपमान पर माफी मांगो, लेकिन मैं जानता हूं ये लोग कभी माफी नहीं मांगेंगे, क्योंकि इन लोगों के मन में दलित, महादलित, पिछड़े, अति पिछड़े के प्रति कोई सम्मान नहीं है। आरजेडी और कांग्रेस बाबा साहब आंबेडकर की तस्वीर को पैरों में रखती है, जबकि मोदी बाबा साहब आंबेडकर को अपने दिल में रखता है। बाबा साहब का अपमान करके लोग खुद को बाबा साहब से भी बड़ा दिखाना चाहते हैं। बिहार के लोग बाबा साहब का यह अपमान कभी नहीं भूलेंगे। साथियों, बिहार की तेज प्रगति के लिए जो लॉन्चिंग पैड चाहिए वो नीतीश जी के प्रयासों से तैयार हो चुका है। अब एनडीए को मिलकर बिहार को तरक्की की नई बुलंदी देनी है। मुझे बिहार के नौजवानों पर भरोसा है। हम सभी मिलकर बिहार का प्राचीन गौरव फिर लौटाएंगे। बिहार को विकसित भारत का मजबूत इंजन बनाएंगे। इसी विश्वास के साथ आप सभी को विकास कार्यों की फिर से अनेक अनेक शुभकामनाएं। मेरे साथ दोनों मुट्ठी बंद करके हाथ ऊपर करके बोलिए, भारत माता की। जिसके पास तिरंगा है वो तिरंगा लहराएंगे। भारत माता की, भारत माता की, भारत माता की। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
अपनी जगह पर खड़े होकर जोरदार तालियों से माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का आभार प्रकट करें हम सब। जोरदार ताली आप सबकी ओर से।
आपकी फेवरेट हुंडई कार्स पर मिल रही है अमेजिंग डील्स। वैसे लोगे तो आप हुंडई ही, चाहे दिल की सुनो या डील्स की, तो जल्दी चले आओ हुंडई शोरूम।
MDH की देगी मिर्च,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मिर्च।
כל המיון. תראו את גבול הברצים, תראו את האנשים, תראו את האנשים.
Early this morning, an Iranian ballistic missile directly hit the Soroka hospital in Be'er Sheva. This hospital serves over 1 million Israelis, including Bedouins, Jews, Christians, and Arabs alike. Iran targeting civilian centers with ballistic missiles is no surprise for us. They have been openly declaring their desire to destroy the state of Israel for decades now.
את המצב בחמינאי, הניקלר המודרני. אדם עומד עשרות שנים בראש מעצמה. יש לו השפעה אידיאולוגית רבה. הוא מפעיל אותה ואומר שהוא בעד השמדת ישראל. הוא מפעיל את כל המשאבים גם על חשבון העם שלו למען המטרה. ואנחנו רואים היום.
Welcome back, viewers. Pakistan is now staring at a full-blown internal security crisis. In the last 24 hours alone, the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan has launched a wave of deadly attacks across multiple provinces, leaving scores of soldiers wounded and its intelligence apparatus completely rattled. And the TTP has now officially launched Operation Al-Khandak, a chilling declaration of war against the Pakistani state. Here's a quick report on that.
Trouble is mounting for Pakistan as TTP has intensified operations against Pakistan forces. 16 attacks on Pakistan forces by Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan have taken place in the last 24 hours.
These are the precise intel-based attacks that Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan is carrying out on the Pakistani intelligence agencies as well as the Pakistani armed forces. Now what we are picking up that in last 24 hours, that is on 18th June, starting from the evening to 19th of June, there have been more than 16 attacks that have been carried out in the area of Shangla, Mardan. It was in the North Waziristan and also in the Khyber province. These attacks have been carried out by the cadre of Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, in which they have attacked more than 20 personnel of the Pakistan intelligence wing as well as the Pakistan armed forces. These attacks are based on the intelligence that is being gathered by the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, and that is something really very concerning, because when the Operation Al-Khandak was launched 1.5 months back, it was made very clear by the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan that they are going to go next level. They are going to carry out a large-scale attacks and also the information-based attacks, that the intel-based attack they are going to launch, and that is what is happening on ground now, with the Pakistan being hit badly by the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, and now they have said that this Operation Al-Khandak will be intensified in days to come. That means more and more Pakistani security force personnel as well as the intelligence officers, they will be targeted by the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan. This is very concerning because the way the borders are volatile for the Pakistan, and so does the hinterland situation, that is becoming really very concerning, because on the one hand it is the Balochistan Liberation Army along with the Balochistan National Army and the Balochistan Republican Army, they are carrying out the intensified operation in the Balochistan, and now the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan attacks are also picking up pace with the intelligence officers and also the Pakistani armed forces being attacked by them, and that too to the magnitude that almost in 1.5 hour a single attack is being carried out.
On that note, viewers, we'll slip into a short break. On the other side, we'll get you live pictures from southern Israel, where Iran has bombarded residential structures. Even a hospital has been struck. Along with that, We'll also tell you about the spate of Air India flight cancellations. Yet again, 7 Air India domestic and international flights were cancelled due to maintenance and operational issues. Stay tuned.
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
יש שם, זה לא נפילות?
זה נפילות, אבא, זה נפילות.
Russia, Ukraine is so stupid. Would have never happened if I was president. You guys agree with that, right? Would have never happened if I was president. Putin would have never done it. And I spoke to him yesterday, and I said, you know, he actually offered to help mediate. I said, do me a favor. Mediate your own. Let's mediate Russia first, okay? I said, Vladimir, let's mediate Russia first. You can worry about this later. But I think that's going to work out too, but it's so many people have been killed. I'm not happy with what Putin's doing. He's killing a lot of people, and I don't know what the hell happened to Putin. I've known him a long time, always gotten along with him, but he's sending rockets into cities and killing people, and I don't like it at all, okay? We're in the middle of talking, and he's shooting rockets into Kiev and other cities. I don't like it at all.
Mr. President, what do you want to do about that?
I'm surprised. I'm very surprised. We'll see what we're going to do. What am I going to tell you? You're the fake news, aren't you? You're totally fake. All right, any other questions? I don't like what Putin is doing, not even a little bit. He's killing people. And something happened to this guy, and I don't like it. Most importantly, you have millions of people dead. Millions of people dead because of 3 people. I would say 3 people. Let's say Putin, number 1. But let's say Biden, who had no idea what the hell he was doing. Number 2, and Zelensky. And all I can do is try and stop it. That's all I want to do. I want to stop the killing. And I think we're doing well in that regard. It should.
विमल में गुलिस्तां की ये कुछ लजीज फरिश्ते जब साथ गुले तो जी ललचाए और दिल कहे कि स्वाद की इस जुबान में खुद को ऐसा डुबाऊं कि निकल ना पाऊं। विमल की जुबान कुछ है ही ऐसी, मानते हैं ना? विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जलजीरा मसाला। सिप सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जलजीरा सिप MDH का जलजीरा सिप।
כל המיון. תראו את כולם רצים, תראו את האנשים, תראו את האנשים.
Early this morning, an Iranian ballistic missile directly hit the Soroka hospital in Be'er Sheva. This hospital serves over 1 million Israelis, including Bedouins, Jews, Christians, and Arabs alike. Iran targeting civilian centers with ballistic missiles is no surprise for us. They have been openly declaring their desire to destroy the state of Israel for decades now.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
A very good afternoon, viewers. It's 2 p.m. and you're watching Live and Breaking with me, Antara Gupta. It is day 8, that is week 2 of Israel versus Iran. Of course, there is an unprecedented escalation and we'll get to you all that and much more. But first, as always, a quick check of the headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi takes on opposition in poll-bound Bihar, says opposition wants to bring back Jungle Raj. Spate of Air India flight cancellations yet again. 7 Air India domestic and international flights cancelled due to maintenance and operational issues. Israel-Iran conflict enters second week. Tit-for-tat strikes continue, massive damage in southern Israel.
प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने ऑथराइज किया आर्म फोर्सेस को डिटेल तय हो गई कि हमने क्या रोल आउट करना है और वो हमने 4 बजे के बाद शुरू किया। ये उनकी फिर एक बदकिस्मती मैं कहूँगा इंडिया की कि उन्होंने 2:30 बजे फिर वही हरकत कर दी कि जी नूर खान एयरबेस पे, शोरकोट एयरबेस पे, 2 एयरपोर्ट्स पे उन्होंने फिर अटैक किए उसी रात को 6 और 7 की दरमियानी रात को।
Pakistan Deputy Prime Minister makes big admission, confirms India hit 2 key air bases during Operation Sindoor. Second leg of Operation Langra continues in Uttar Pradesh. Criminals shot in encounters in 10 cities. Encounter underway between Maoists and police in Chhattisgarh's Kanker. 1 Maoist eliminated and his body has been recovered. In a big breaking news that is coming in, ladies and gentlemen, the Israeli Air Force struck Iranian missile systems and radar installations near Isfahan and Tehran. These systems were intended to target Israeli Air Force's aircrafts. These precision strikes, in fact, expand Israel's aerial freedom in the Iranian airspace following the breakthrough to Tehran. Now, the IAF jets continue to strike military targets of the Iranian regime across the central and western Iran. The Army Press Service, in fact, released a statement, ladies and gentlemen, saying, and I quote, "In recent days, Israeli Air Force fighter jets struck Iranian missile systems and radar installations in areas of Isfahan and Tehran, which were intended to target Israel Defense Forces aircraft and disrupt their operations. Now, according to the army, this strike expands the Israeli Air Force's freedom of aerial operation in Iranian airspace following the breakthrough to Tehran. Now, in addition to this, the IAF has in fact also attacked the SPND headquarters building in Tehran, which is used for research and development of advanced technologies and weapons for Iranian's regime military capabilities. And in fact, also the 3 missile launchers in Iran that were ready to be fired at Israel. A military commander who was working to launch them was also attacked, as per the Israeli Defense Forces spokesperson. This is the big breaking news that we are tracking. Ladies and gentlemen, let's cut straight across to our Israeli correspondent, Nick, who joins us in this edition. Nick, this is a big breaking news that is coming in. We are coming to know that Israeli Air Force struck Iranian missile systems and radar installations near Tehran and Isfahan. Tell us more. What is happening on the ground?
That's right. Israel continues its drive to eliminate all of the threats against Israel. And the main threat are the missile launchers and the ballistic missiles. Of course, this is just the first step. And the second and most important step is to destroy all the nuclear facilities of Iran, because Iran will not hesitate to use nuclear weapons against Israel. Because we can see here behind me, this is the downtown in the center of Israel, and see how massive is the destruction to all of those skyscrapers and to all of those residential areas here around me. You can see the place now evacuated. We can't come closer because it's really dangerous, but see how much of a skyscrapers here all around, and all of those places were the target of the Iranian illegal ballistic missile with ammunition, which is illegal, a cluster bomb. It means that one ballistic missile becomes many smaller bombs, and all of them fell here all around. And if children or somebody touch them, they can also explode. And now Israel needs to assess if they need to destroy, demolish all of those buildings, because they are not safe anymore for people to live there or to work there. And actually, yesterday morning, I was about 300 meters from here in a skyscraper, and I felt the shock wave, a huge shock wave from this ballistic missile. I thought that the missile hit my skyscraper because of the damage that it causes. Just one ballistic missile, and you can see the shock wave goes for hundreds of meters, destroying everything in their way. The only reason why we don't have so many casualties in Israel, because Israel is used to this reality when barrages of rockets are fired at Israeli citizens, and they know what to do. There is an alert system that alerting all the mobile phones in Israel that now you need to find a shelter. And after that, there are air sirens, and people know where to go. They need to go underground to underground parkings or to metro stations, or inside of each building in Israel, there is a shelter. On the streets of Israel, there are a lot of shelters. Even in all the apartments, the new ones after the 90s that were built, there are also one room which is protected with an iron window and a lot of protection from all the sides, so it can withstand those kind of missiles. And after tens of years that the proxies of Iran fired those missiles at Israel, now Iran directly doing the same, and Israel understands that the next step of Iran will be to send the nuclear weapons here, and that's why Israel desperately asks for the help of the United States to destroy the sites where Iran developing these nuclear weapons, especially in the Fordo side, around 100 meters underground, inside of a mountain, and just the B-2 bombers of the United States could destroy this site. Back to you.
Well, absolutely, Nick. Do stay with us. We'll come back to you shortly. In fact, we are getting another breaking news, staying with the same story. Israeli Defense Minister's big statement has come out. He has said that Israel's patience with terror has run out. He warns Hezbollah, saying that they are making the same mistake as those before him, following the orders of Iran's dictatorship and threatening Israel. Now, Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz has warned Hezbollah to exercise caution on Friday, saying that Israel's patience with terrorists who threatened it and has now worn thin. Now, the head of the Iran-backed Hezbollah, Naim Qassem, said on Thursday that the group would act if it saw fit in the face of what he called brutal Israeli-American aggression against Iran. And now, of course, we have Israel's defense minister's big statement that is coming in, and he's saying that Israel's patience with these terrorists has worn thin. Nick, I would like to go back to you. Of course, this is a very, very big statement that is coming in from the Israeli defense minister. He has made it crystal clear that his and Israel's patience with these terrorists has now worn thin. And of course, this comes after what Qassem said just on Thursday, where he said that Iran would act and Hezbollah would act what it saw fit in face of what they call Israeli-American aggression. What more do you have on this?
I think that Hezbollah can't do a lot because Israel almost completely destroyed their military capabilities. And they did it after the 7th of October. And also the Houthis had a big blow from the Israeli army in the past months. So this time Iran is alone and nobody can help it. And I think that Israel now understands that they need, on the one hand, to destroy the nuclear ability of Iran. But on the other hand, it's not good for Israel to make it a war of attrition, because if this war will be for a long term, it will be really bad for the Israeli economy and for Israel. Israel already in the middle of its longest war ever. And you can see here behind me, I can show you the devastation just of one ballistic rocket from Iran. You can see all those houses are devastated from one ballistic missile. See what it do. Just one missile, and you see all those skyscrapers now almost completely destroyed. We can't go closer because it's really dangerous. That's why I'm showing it from this distance, but still you can see how huge is the damage. And this is what Iran is doing. This is a completely residential business area of Israel. And those are the targets of Iran. And that's why Israel will continue its war until Iran is not stopping to send rockets to this kind of places. Back to you.
Well, thank you, Nick. Thank you for getting us those updates. Moving on to another breaking story. And Nick, we'll keep coming back to you. We are staying with the same story, in fact. Australia, Bulgaria, the Czech Republic, New Zealand, Portugal and Switzerland have now suspended embassy operations in Tehran. In fact, Australia has shuttered its Tehran embassy and has ordered officials to leave Iran. The government is saying, and it's citing, a deteriorating security situation. In fact, it joins a string of countries closing diplomatic missions in Iran since Israel launched the attack on the country's nuclear program last week. Now, of course, Australia, along with the other countries, has directed all its officials and their dependents to leave Iran and has, in fact, suspended its Tehran embassy operations. This is the big breaking news that we are tracking. 6 nations, ladies and gentlemen, have suspended embassy operations in Tehran, Iran. Back-to-back breaking news coming in, viewers. Breaking news now is that Iran Foreign Minister Arghachi has said that Iran is not seeking negotiations with anyone as long as Israeli attacks continue. In fact, Arghachi is set to meet with representatives from Britain, Germany, France and European Union in Geneva. Well, that is the big breaking news that we are tracking in this edition. Listen in to what he had to say. Just to give you some context, ladies and gentlemen, Iranian foreign minister has said that Iran is not seeking negotiations with anyone as long as Israeli attacks continue. This is coming in as the conflict in West Asia now enters day 8. That is the second week of the conflict. And of course, we have seen an unprecedented escalation on the ground. And now Iran has in fact rejected new talks amid these Israeli strikes. Listen in to what the Iranian Foreign Minister Araghchi had to say.
در شرایط حاضر و در شرایطی که تهاجمات رژیم صهیونیستی ادامه داره خواهان مذاکره با هیچ کسی نیستیم. الحمدلله مقاومت جانانه‌ای که نیروهای مسلح ما کردن به تدریج داره آشکار میکنه که اون فکری که اینها کرده بودن که مثلا با یک سری ضربات برق‌آسا میتونن ملت ایران تسلیم کنن یک فکر باطل. ما در شرایط حاضر و در شرایطی که تهاجمات رژیم صهیونیستی ادامه داره خواهان مذاکره با هیچ کسی نیستیم. الحمدلله مقاومت جانانه‌ای که نیروهای مسلح ما کردن به تدریج داره آشکار میکنه که اون فکری که اینها کرده بودن که مثلا با یک سری ضربات برق‌آسا میتونن ملت ایران تسلیم کنن یک فکر باطل.
Nick, who continues to join us in this edition. Nick, this is another big breaking news that we are tracking. Iranian Foreign Minister Araghchi has made it clear that Iran is not seeking negotiations with anyone as long as Israeli attacks continue. Now, this is despite the unprecedented escalation. What more updates do you have on this?
Actually, Iran, as I understand, actually negotiating, even directly from with the United States, also with some European nations and with others, and they seek to end this conflict. They seek to end it because Iran understands that they can't win it. They don't have enough power, and it's better for Iran now that this attack on their facilities will end. Because for decades, Iran preferred to do a proxy war. They didn't want a direct confrontation with Israel. They wanted a war of attrition with Israel via proxies like Hezbollah and Houthis. But after Israel directly hit Iranian facilities and Iranian top leaders and scientists, they understood that they need to show some kind of strength because in the Middle East, you should be strong. But that's enough for Iran right now. They want it to be ended. But Israel understands that this is an existential threat for Israel. And that's why they are determined to continue until Iran will not possess anymore any possibility to have nuclear weapons. Back to you.
Well, of course, Nick, do stay with us. We have another breaking news now coming in. Iran has launched a barrage of missiles on Israel's Beersheba city. In fact, Iran missile has impacted Beersheba, causing heavy damage. We are also coming to know that 5 individuals have been injured and 4 Iranian drones were also downed overnight. That is the big breaking news that we are tracking. Iran has, again, in an unprecedented escalation, launched a barrage of missiles on Israel's Beersheba city. Visuals are on your screen. We can see plumes of smoke. Ceilings have come crumbling down. This is the big breaking news that we are tracking. Meanwhile, Republic TV is the only channel, ladies and gentlemen, reporting from the war zone. Here's a report showing you the aftermath of Israel's commercial capital. Take a look.
I'm currently standing in central Tel Aviv, which has been very much affected with the Iranian ballistic missile. As you can see at the back, most of the buildings are charred and have been destroyed. And if I could pan my camera to the other side and I can show you, most of the buildings here have been completely destroyed and the areas have been evacuated. Most of the citizens, once are flooding a street with people flooding in, eating in the cafes around, looks very empty right now. And at this point of time, we could hardly see anyone on the street. What do you see right now? What was before?
Very popular hub for Olim and Israelis alike. There's lots of different internet cafes in the area that are now closed because of the damage behind us. We have what used to be a very normal streets. well-known internet cafe that is now closed. It's insane. I try not to walk here super often since Sunday because of all the glass and all the destruction, but eventually it's just unavoidable. So it's a bit freaky seeing it and just what it used to be. It used to be just a very normal place. Just see everyone, like as you walk down all the cafes, you see everyone you know, and now it's just totally different.
And let's focus on that building for a second. Can you show that building? That building is standing for sure, but that looks nothing like what it used to be.
No, standing, but it's just barely. I mean, thankfully a lot of the buildings in the area, as long as you're in the shelter in the miklaq or the mamak or the mamad, whatever you go to when there's a siren, you'll be safe. But then you exit and it's just absolutely chaos and destruction. So it's just tons of broken windows. It just looks bad.
Now, after attacks in Beersheba by Iran, IDF spokesperson says that Iran planned a larger barrage on Beersheba this morning. We destroyed some of the launchers is what they're saying. Take a look. IDF has in fact issued the statement. It says, and I quote, Iran planned a larger barrage on Beersheba this morning. We destroyed some of the launchers. The Air Force's continued strikes are reducing threats to civilian, and Israel's goal, meanwhile, remains clear, is what IDF is saying: remove the existential threat. We go back to Nick, who keeps joining me on this edition. Nick, we are coming to know that, and this is coming from the IDF spokesperson, that after the attacks in Beersheba by Iran, Iran had in fact planned a larger barrage of missiles on the residential areas. Nick.
Yes, that's right. But because Israel controls the airspace of Iran, the Israeli Air Force are hunting those ballistic launchers of Iranians, and they are destroying them even during the preparation for the attack of Israeli cities. And that's why they did it in the last time. They detected that Iran trying to launch barrages of rockets towards Israel, and they destroyed some of those launchers. And that's why the attack on Beersheba and on the south of Israel was much smaller than what Iran wanted to do. But it also has to do something it was the first day of the war. Israel, in the beginning, eliminated most of the top commanders of Iranian army and those who are responsible for launching those rockets towards Israel. And that's why now they don't know exactly what to do. And that's why they are not prepared so well as they was before. They don't have the command chain. They don't have the launchers. They don't have the plans. They are trying to do it spontaneously. And that's why it's much harder for Iran to strike precisely how they wanted. And this is the reason why probably they are targeting just civilian areas, because they understand they can't target military areas. So actually, Iran is fighting against the people of Israel and not against the army of Israel, while Israeli army is actually fighting against the military nuclear assets of Iran. And this is the big difference between the two countries. Back to you.
Well, absolutely, Nick. Thank you very much for getting us those updates. We'll keep coming back to you. Meanwhile, moving on. Tensions between Israel and Iran have reached a boiling point. With recent escalations in covert operations and military strikes, questions are being raised about Israel's next strategic move. Is the Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei now a potential target in this growing conflict? Take a look.
Good evening, I'm Deepak Vora, Ambassador of India, and today we're talking about the situation in Iran and Israel. Let me very quickly tell you, why are the mullahs of Iran, the Ayatollah regime. Why are they so interested in getting an atom bomb? Very quickly, let me tell you what happened. 1979, the mullahs throw out America's darling called the Shah of Iran. The Americans are very angry. 1980 to 1988, the Iranian mullahs fight Iraq. The Americans tell their then darling Saddam Hussein, go beat up the mullahs because they threw out the Shah, and give him chemical weapons that he uses against the Iranians. That is well documented. That's the point around the mid-1980s that the mullahs decided they needed something stronger than chemical weapons. They needed the atom bomb. Now, Israel knows the only country against which Iran will use the nuclear bomb, if at all, is Israel, because they have never reconciled to the existence of Israel. So, the priority for Israel is not so much getting rid of the bomb that was the dream of the mullahs as of the mullahs themselves. The first priority is regime change. The Shah of Iran had a peaceful nuclear program going. He had a reactor here and there, but he never talked about having a nuclear bomb. He didn't even refer to the fact that Iran certainly was a very powerful country. He was buying every weapon that the Americans had made because he had a lot of oil money. I'm told that he even ordered weapons that the Americans hadn't even manufactured. But then he wanted to be a powerful guy, a prominent player in the region. So today, Israel's priority is get rid of the mullah regime. What happens? Either somebody comes in imposed from outside. There has been regime change already twice in the history of Iran. 1953, when Mohammad Mossadegh, the fellow who nationalized the oil industry, was thrown out by the Americans and the Brits. And then in, of course, 1979, when the Shah was booted out by the mullahs. This will be the third regime change. What happens? Either somebody comes who's acceptable to the West, but if they can't find anybody, and Iran is in chaos, as Libya was, as Syria was, as Iraq was after regime change there, the Israelis would just say, how does that bother me? We are 1,500, 2,000 kilometers away from Iran. Let Iran burn as long as they don't threaten my existence. This is the game. Are they going to take out Khomeini? I believe Khomeini is not at the moment in Iran. You might hear all kinds of, you might see and hear all kinds of reports or see videos being put out. He's at a prayer meeting, he's here, he's there. I believe he's left the country. Initially, I was told by my own group of people that he was in Moscow. Perhaps that's why Putin is offering to mediate. But the Israelis want to take him out. They know if he goes, the alternative would be better for them, or the alternative would be chaos. And either way, the Israelis would be very happy. So, as far as Shri Ali Khamenei is concerned, he's a walking dead man at this time. He is not going to survive very long. As it is, at 86, he's unwell. But I think the Israelis will do what they can, supported by the Americans, to accelerate his departure from this planet.
Spate of Air India flight cancellations yet again. 7 Air India domestic and international flights cancelled due to maintenance and operational issues.
What it takes to report from the front lines. Accuracy, urgency, courage and responsibility. At Republic School of Journalism, you'll be trained for that reality. It's not theory, it's live learning inside a working newsroom from day one. If you want to report the truth when it matters the most, RSJ is where you begin. Courses begin on June 30th. Apply now.
विमल में गुलिस्तां के ये कुछ लजीज फरिश्ते जब साथ गुलें तो जी ललचाए और दिल कहे कि स्वाद की जुबां में खुद को ऐसे डुबाऊं कि निकल ना पाऊं। विमल की जुबां कुछ है ही ऐसी, मानते हैं? विमल, बोलो जुबां कैसी?
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
כל המיון. תראה את כולם רצים. תראו את האנשים. תראו את האנשים.
Early this morning, an Iranian ballistic missile directly hit the Soroka hospital in Be'er Sheva. This hospital serves over 1 million Israelis, including Bedouins, Jews, Christians, and Arabs alike. Iran targeting civilian centers with ballistic missiles is no surprise for us. They have been openly declaring their desire to destroy the state of Israel for decades now.
את המצב בחמינאי, היטלר המודרני. אדם עומד עשרות שנים בראש מעצמה. יש לו השפעה אידיאולוגית רבה. הוא מפעיל אותה ואומר שהוא בעד השמדת ישראל. הוא מפעיל את כל המשאבים גם על חשבון העם שלו למען המטרה. ואנחנו רואים היום
A very good afternoon, viewers. It's 2:30 p.m. and you're watching Live and Breaking with me, Antara Gupta. Of course, there's an unprecedented escalation on the grounds of Israel and Iran, and we are the only channel getting you minute-by-minute updates. We'll get you all that and much more, but first, as always, a quick check of the headlines.
जंगल राज लाने वाले मौका देख रहे हैं कि किसी भी तरह फिर से अपने पुराने कारनामे करने का मौका ढूंढ रहे हैं.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi takes on opposition in poll-bound Bihar, says opposition wants to bring back Jungle Raj. Spate of Air India flight cancellations yet again. 7 Air India domestic and international flights cancelled due to maintenance and operational issues. Israel-Iran conflict enters second week. Tit-for-tat strikes continue. Massive damage in southern Israel.
ऑथराइज किया आर्म फोर्सेस को डिटेल तय हो गई कि हमने क्या रोल आउट करना है और वो हमने 4 बजे के बाद शुरू किया. ये उनकी फिर एक बदकिस्मती मैं कहूँगा इंडिया की कि उन्होंने 2:30 बजे फिर वही हरकत कर दी कि जी नूर खान एयरबेस पे, शोरकोट एयरबेस पे, 2 एयरपोर्ट्स पे उन्होंने फिर अटैक किए उसी रात को 6 और 7 की दरमियानी रात को.
Pakistan Deputy Prime Minister makes big admission, confirms India hit 2 key air bases during Operation Sindoor. Second leg of Operation Langra continues in Uttar Pradesh. Criminals shot in encounters in 10 cities. Encounter underway between Maoists and police in Chhattisgarh, Langra. One Maoist eliminated and his body has been recovered. Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news coming in from Chhattisgarh's Langra, where an encounter broke out between the Maoists and security forces, which is now underway. One Maoist has been killed and the body of another has been recovered. Senior Superintendent of Police Indira Kalyan has said that the encounter is now going on. That is the big breaking news that we are tracking. The police, in fact, said that a gunfight broke out in the forested hill within the jurisdiction of the Chote Betia police station, where a joint team of DRG, which is the District Reserve Guard, and Border Security Force was out on an anti-Maoist operation. We are coming to know that a woman Maoist was gunned down in the encounter with the security personnel in Chhattisgarh's Kanker district on Friday morning. That is the big breaking news that we are tracking. In fact, the police has said that the operation was launched between Amatola and Kalpar villages based on the inputs about the presence of the members of banned Maoist outfits on the other side of the Kothri River. In fact, as per the reports that we are getting in, after the firing stopped, the body of the Maoist woman was also recovered. Ladies and gentlemen, let's cut straight across to my colleague Bharat. Bharat, of course, this is the big breaking news that we are tracking. Maoists have been gunned down. In fact, a Maoist body has now also been recovered in Chhattisgarh's Kanker district. Give us more ground updates. What's happening?
देखिए, आपको बता दूं, जिस इलाके पे मुठभेड़ हुई है वो पूरा इलाका छोटे बेटिया के जंगलों के अंतर्गत जो ठोला है उस इलाके की बताई जा रही है। वो पूरा इलाका एक तरीके से माओवादियों का कोर इलाका कहा जाता है। उस इलाके पे पहली बार नहीं, इससे पहले कईयों बार पुलिस और माओवादियों के बीच में मुठभेड़ हो चुकी है और सफलता भी मिल चुकी है सत्ता परिवर्तन होने के बाद। जिस तरीके से मुठभेड़ और इनकाउंटर चल रही है, एक बड़ी सफलता देखी जा रही है। पुलिस को की जो इंटेलिजेंस की जो सोर्स है, पुलिस की जो सूत्र है, जिसके तर्ज पे पुलिस को जानकारी मिली थी कि उस इलाके पे माओवादियों की मौजूदगी की सूचना थी, जिसके तर्ज पे ऑपरेशन चलाया गया। इस ऑपरेशन में लगातार जो पुलिस और माओवादियों के बीच में फायरिंग है वो देखने को मिल रही थी। इस फायरिंग में लगातार हम देख रहे हैं कि किस तरीके से सफलता मिल रही है। इसी के तर्ज पे जो देश के गृह मंत्री ने जो डेडलाइन तय किया है, जिसके तर्ज पे ऑपरेशन चलाई जा रही है, और इसमें एक बड़ा ऑपरेशन में इस ऑपरेशन में एक बड़ी सफलता मिली है। एक माओवादियों को पुलिस के जवानों ने ढेर किया है, जिनका शव को पकांजूर थाना क्षेत्र लाया गया है। ऐसे में आप देख सकते हैं कि एक्सक्लूसिव हमने रिपब्लिक भारत में दिखाने की कोशिश की कि किस तरीके की हालात बनी हुई है। पकांजूर थाना क्षेत्र में लाने के बावजूद डेड बॉडी को अभी कांकेर भिजाया गया है। हालांकि कितने लाख का इनामी था, किन किन घटनाओं में शामिल था, इन तमाम चीजों पर, तमाम पहल पर पुलिस जो है विवेचना कर रही है। कुछ देर के बाद स्पष्ट हो जाएगी कितने लाख का वो इनामी नक्सली था। जी
Right. Thank you so much for joining us, Bharat, for those details coming in from the side. So, viewers, the encounter is still underway, of course, and the fight against Red Terror continues. Now, viewers, Pakistan is staring at a full-blown internal security crisis. Now, in the last 24 hours alone, the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan has launched a wave of deadly strikes again across multiple provinces, leaving scores of soldiers wounded and its intelligence apparatus rattled. The TTP has now officially launched the Operation Al-Khandaq, a chilling declaration of war against the state of Pakistan.
Trouble is mounting for Pakistan as TTP has intensified operations against Pakistan forces. 16 attacks on Pakistan forces by Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan have taken place in the last 24 hours.
These are the precise intel-based attacks that Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan is carrying out on the Pakistani intelligence agencies as well as the Pakistani armed forces. Now what we are picking up that in last 24 hours, that is on 18th June, starting from the evening to 19th of June, there have been more than 16 attacks that have been carried out in the area of Shangla, Mardan. It was in the North Waziristan and also in the Khyber province. These attacks have been carried out by the cadre of Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, in which they have attacked more than 20 personnel of the Pakistan intelligence wing as well as the Pakistan armed forces. These attacks are based on the intelligence that is being gathered by the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, and that is something really very concerning, because when the Operation Al-Khandaq was launched 1.5 months back, it was made very clear by the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan that they are going to go next level. They are going to carry out a large-scale attacks, and also the information-based attacks, that the intel-based attack they are going to launch, and that is what is happening on ground now, with the Pakistan being hit badly by the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, and now they have said that this Operation Al-Khandaq will be intensified in days to come. That means more and more Pakistani security force personnel as well as the intelligence officers, they will be targeted by the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan. This is very concerning, because the way the borders are volatile for the Pakistan, and so does the hinterland situation, that is becoming really very concerning, because on the one hand it is the Balochistan Liberation Army along with the Balochistan National Army and the Balochistan Republican Army. They are carrying out the intensified operation in the Balochistan Pakistan, and now the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan attacks are also picking up pace with the intelligence officers and also the Pakistani armed forces being attacked by them, and that too to the magnitude that almost in 1.5 hours a single attack is being carried out.
And now we have some breaking news coming in from West Bengal viewers. The face-off between BJP and Kolkata police right now is being witnessed after the police stopped the bike rally of Shukanta Majumdar on the occasion of Paschim Bongo Divas. Now there was a slight scuffle between, between Kolkata police and Shukanta Majumdar, the Union Minister, and also he's of course the BJP Bengal leader unit, BJP unit leader. In fact, we're getting in reaction from Shukanta Majumdar himself. Take a listen in.
हर तरीके से कोशिश कर रही है रोकने के लिए इसको पश्चिम बंगाल दिवस मनाने नहीं दिया जाएगा। ये ममता बनर्जी का जो निर्देश है उसको पालन कर रही है पुलिस। यहाँ तक कि नेशनल फ्लैग लेकर भी जाने के लिए अलाउ नहीं करे पुलिस। एकदम शेड्यूल प्रोग्राम है और हम यात्रा कर रहे हैं कि नेताजी सुभाष चंद्र बोस के घर तक हम जाएंगे। श्यामा प्रसाद मुखर्जी के जन्म स्थान से नेताजी सुभाष चंद्र बोस के घर तक जाएंगे, नेताजी भवन तक जाएंगे। ये छोटा सा रूट हम जाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं और पुलिस हमें हर तरीके से रोक रही है।
That's the latest update we have right now. Police stopping the bike rally of Shukanta Majumdar. And these are visuals coming in from Kolkata. And with that, we shift our focus to other stories that are making news from across the country. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath on Friday inaugurated the 91.35 kilometer long Gorakhpur Link Expressway, which will connect Gorakhpur to key districts like Azamgarh, marking a major boost to eastern UP's road infrastructure, calling it a step towards realizing the vision of a Viksit Bharat by 2047. The CM highlighted the state's transformation from a Bimaru state to one known for its extensive expressway network. He emphasized that 6 expressway projects have been completed under his government, including the Purvanchal and Bundelkhand expressways, significantly enhancing connectivity across the region. Aam Aadmi Party leader Manish Sisodia appeared before the Delhi government's anti-corruption branch today in connection with an alleged 2,000 crore rupee scam involving the construction of classrooms in government schools. Sisodia had earlier skipped a questioning session set for 9th of June. The ACB summoned him for after registering an FIR on the 30th of April, following allegations of financial irregularities in the construction of over 12,000 classrooms and semi-permanent school structures across Delhi. President Draupadi Murmu celebrated her 67th birthday on Friday with an emotional visit to the National Institute for the Empowerment of Persons with Visual Disabilities. Prime Minister Narendra Modi greeted her at the Rashtrapati Bhavan and praised her on social media, saying her life and leadership continue to inspire millions. He lauded her commitment to public service, social justice, the empowerment of the underprivileged. Leaders across party lines, including Congress Chief Mallikarjun Kharge, also extended wishes. In the aftermath of the tragic Air India AI-171 crash in Ahmedabad, Civil Hospital Superintendent Rakesh Joshi confirmed that 215 DNA samples have been matched and the mortal remains of 198 victims have been handed over to their families. Police Commissioner G.S. Malik says that a total of 222 victims have been identified so far, 214 through DNA, 8 without DNA matching. The June 12 crash, which occurred shortly after takeoff, claimed 241 lives, including that of former Gujarat Chief Minister Vijay Rupani. India has formally launched the process to develop its 5th generation stealth fighter jet under the Advanced Medium Combat Aircraft, that is the AMCA project, aimed at enhancing the Indian Air Force's air power. The Aeronautical Development Agency has issued an expression of interest to identify Indian companies capable of building 5 prototypes of the jet, which will feature advanced stealth and deep penetration capabilities. Alongside the Tejas light combat aircraft, AMCA is expected to become a key component of India's future air fleet. Development and certification phase is targeted for completion within 8 years. The BSF have recovered ICE, that is a drug consignment, and a drone worth over 30 crores in Punjab. The BSF troops launched a late-night strategic operation along the Amritsar border, where a drone movement was intercepted and neutralized using technical countermeasures deployed at the border. during search of the suspected, dropping 7 packets of ICE with a gross weight of 7.470 kgs were found inside. The international market worth of the consignment is over 30 crore rupees. The recovery was made from an irrigated agricultural field near village of district Amritsar. There has been an encounter between security forces and Maoists in the forest of village Amatola and Chote Betia police station of Kanke district. As per reports, one Maoist has been confirmed killed in this encounter. Security forces have recovered the body of the Maoist from the spot. The body has been brought to Pakhanjur police station and will be sent to Kanke district headquarters. Some soldiers are returned from the spot while other soldiers are still conducting search operations in the area. Security forces are currently engaged in a thorough search of the entire area. Right, viewers, now after attacks in Beersheba by Iran, the IDF spokesperson says that Iran planned a larger barrage on Beersheba this morning. The Israeli forces say that they have destroyed some of the launches, and that's the breaking news we have right now. So Iran was in fact planning a bigger attack in Beersheba. Remember, in Beersheba there was a hospital, the largest hospital in fact in southern Israel, that was destroyed, where the old are treated, babies are treated, soldiers are treated. And there was a school and a residential building. There are other areas also that were targeted, but Beersheba had this very important site which was attacked. And now IDF say they have destroyed the launches, the missile launches of Iran. So, in fact, we are joined by my colleague Ratan, who is right now in Tel Aviv. Ratan, tell us more about what is the situation right now, because Beersheba has already witnessed a lot of damage, a lot of destruction, but the Israeli Defense Forces say that Iran in fact had bigger plans.
That's true. In fact, Beersheba was one of the only cities which got hit last night. We had seen fewer barrages of missiles coming in, and yesterday was the only city that got hit was Beersheba. I can confirm there were 5 people who were lightly injured. The missile hit outside an apartment, and most of the apartment has been damaged. But I also want to show you that I'm currently in Nineveh, which is 5 to 6 kilometers away from Tel Aviv. It's an ultra-Orthodox city, and behind me, if you can see, and I'll try to find the camera and take you back as well, that this is an area which is cordoned by the IDF and the police right now, because 3 or 4 days back, there was a direct missile hit by the Iranians, and the ballistic missile fell on a civilian area. There was a school right next to where I'm standing, where 300 students who had special needs, were disabled, used to study, and now the entire area has to be evacuated because nothing is left right now. It's all in rubble. So I can show you a little, by crossing the street, what it looks from there.
Ratnadeep, in fact, just stay on with us. We are getting in more updates from this conflict, viewers. In fact, what we know is that the Israeli Air Force has struck the Iranian missile systems and the radar installations as well near Isfahan and Tehran. And these systems were intended to target Israeli Air Force's aircraft. These precision strikes expand Israel's aerial freedom in the Iranian airspace following the breakthrough to Tehran. That's what the Israeli Defense Forces are saying. IAF, that is Israeli Air Force, not Indian Air Force, Israeli Air Force, who continue to strike the military targets of the Iranian regime across central and western Iran. In fact, they say that the Israeli Air Force fighter jets struck the Iranian missile system. All right, Ratnadeep, this is the information we have. We clearly see that there are 2 goals that clearly have been outlined here by Israel. That first, of course, they have to completely decimate the Iranian nuclear program and render them completely powerless. and of course the fall of the Iranian regime. As far as the goal is concerned of stripping them of all sorts of power, military power, that is something that I think the Israeli forces have been successful in. If you go by what they are claiming, that you see time and again the nuclear facilities are being hit, the missile launch pads are being hit, radar installations are being hit.
Yeah, that's true. In fact, right after yesterday's attack on the Beersheba hospital, it became more clear to the IDF and especially to the government out there that a regime change is something which they would want for sure. And right after they hit a civilian area, a critical infrastructure area, and most of the hospital is now damaged, it became much more clear to the government and the IDF that this is not something probable, but this is something which is a war goal. And the other part of destroying the nuclear capacity, we have seen how civilian areas here in Israel has been hit time and again. Behind me, as I just showed you, these are just a school, these are civilian areas, a hospital. These are areas which are hit. So the Israeli government here makes an argument that if the Iranians could actually get into Israeli cities and hit Israeli cities, even without them having a nuclear weapon now, what happens when they have one? And hence, they can never risk Iran having a nuclear weapon.
Right, just on with that, Ratnadeep. In fact, if you could just show us around, because we've seen how Iran has been claiming to hit many areas in Tel Aviv also. But what is the situation right now? If you could just take us through what's happening there.
Currently, I would say for the last couple of days, at least yesterday, there was a hit in Holon, which was close to Tel Aviv. Yesterday, we had 2 sirens, but today in the morning, there was no siren at all in Tel Aviv region. The only siren that people heard, and there was an attack in Beersheba again, and a missile fell outside an apartment complex and injured around 5 people, lightly injured, no severe injuries, fortunately.
Yes.
But Tel Aviv has been a little quiet this morning, I would say.
Just stay on with us. We have some more breaking news coming in now. Israel viewers has also warned Hezbollah, that is the Lebanese terror group, of course, Iran-backed Lebanese terror group. So Israel's Defense Minister Israel Katz has made a big statement saying that Israel's patience with terror has run out, and he warns the Hezbollah, saying that they are making the same mistake as those before him, following the orders of Iranian dictatorship and threatening Israel. And in fact, Katz warned Hezbollah to exercise caution, and saying Israel's patience with terrorists who threaten it had worn thin. And the head of Iran-backed Hezbollah, Naim Qassem, said on Thursday, remember, that the group would act as it saw fit in the face of what he called brutal Israeli-American aggression against Iran. So that's, Israel Katz, who has been warning the Hezbollah. He has been warning Khamenei as well. And, this is another breaking news we have right now, that Katz is saying that Hezbollah should be, they should not misadventure. And remember, Hezbollah had vowed all forms of support to Iran amid this ongoing conflict that is only escalating. And in fact, this is what now Israel has said, that they have lost patience with terrorists. They have lost patience with terrorists, and that's a very strong statement that is coming in as Hezbollah has pledged support to Iran. It has been, remember, severely weakened. I think Ratnadeep is still with us. Ratnadeep, because we've seen that with the fight against Hamas, and how the Hamas leadership has also been, struck and how by the Israelis. Now, Hezbollah also, there were a lot of speculation as to what will be their role in here. But after the Hezbollah leader says that they will give them all sorts of support, we have cards, warning them. It's a dire warning that has been issued here. All right, we will continue to get you more details from Israel viewers. Time for a very, very short break, but don't go anywhere. A spate of Air India flight cancellations yet again today. 7 Air India domestic and international flights have been cancelled due to maintenance and operational issues yet again. Also, encounter underway between Maoists and police in Chhattisgarh's Langra. 1 Maoist eliminated, body recovered. We'll get you more from ground zero.
MDH की देगी मीरज,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मीरज।
יש שם, זה לא נפילות?
זה נפילות, אבא, זה נפילות.
Russia, Ukraine is so stupid. Would have never happened if I was president. You guys agree with that, right? Would have never happened if I was president. Putin would have never done it. And I spoke to him yesterday and I said, you know, he actually offered to help mediate. I said, do me a favor. Mediate your own. Let's mediate Russia first, okay? I said, Vladimir, let's mediate Russia first. You can worry about this later. But I think that's going to work out too. But it's so many people have been killed. I'm not happy with what Putin's doing. He's killing a lot of people, and I don't know what the hell happened to Putin. I've known him a long time, always gotten along with him, but he's sending rockets into cities and killing people, and I don't like it at all, okay? We're in the middle of talking, and he's shooting rockets into Kiev and other cities. I don't like it at all.
Mr. President, what do you want to do about that?
I'm surprised. I'm very surprised. We'll see what we're going to do. What am I going to tell you? You're the fake news, aren't you? You're totally fake. All right, any other questions? I don't like what Putin is doing, not even a little bit. He's killing people. And something happened to this guy, and I don't like it. Most importantly, you have millions of people dead. Millions of people dead because of three people. I would say three people. Let's say Putin, number one. But let's say Biden, who had no idea what the hell he was doing. Number two, and Zelensky. And all I can do is try and stop it. That's all I want to do. I want to stop the killing. And I think we're doing well in that regard. I think you'll have some very good proposals very soon.
Last question.
Internal tremors continue to shake the Karnataka BJP. Discontent is rising over state party president B.Y. Vijendra's leadership, with the BJP High Command likely to take a call soon. A powerful faction of senior leaders held a hush-hush meeting with Union Minister V. Somanna, signalling serious cracks within the state BJP unit. Those present in that meeting include MLA Ramesh Jarkiholi, former Minister Kumar Bangarappa, ex-Union Minister G.M. Siddeshwar, MLA B.P. Harish and N.R. Santosh, all pressing for a leadership change. While senior leaders are trying to douse the fire, the internal pushback against Vijendra refuses to die down. These rumblings come on a politically sensitive day. Union Home Minister Amit Shah is in Bengaluru for private engagements, even as the party stares at a possible showdown in its Karnataka ranks.
Pakistan Deputy Prime Minister makes a big admission, confirms India hit 2 key air bases. Also, Israel-Iran conflict enters second week. Tit-for-tat strike continues, massive damage in southern Israel. . 。         . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . .
विमल में गुलिस्तां की ये कुछ लजीज फरिश्ते जब साथ घुले तो जी ललचाए और दिल कहे कि स्वाद की इस जुबान में खुद को ऐसा डुबाऊं कि निकल ना पाऊं। विमल की जुबान कुछ है ही ऐसी, मानते हैं ना? विमल बोलो जुबा केसरी।
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
וואי, יש שם... זה לא נפילות?
זה נפילות, אבא, זה נפילות.
Russia, Ukraine is so stupid. Would have never happened if I was president. You guys agree with that, right? Would have never happened if I was president. Putin would have never done it. And I spoke to him yesterday, and I said, you know, he actually offered to help mediate. I said, do me a favor. Mediate your own. Let's mediate Russia first, okay? I said, Vladimir, let's mediate Russia first. You can worry about this later. But I think that's going to work out too, but it's so many people have been killed. I'm not happy with what Putin's doing. He's killing a lot of people, and I don't know what the hell happened to Putin. I've known him a long time, always gotten along with him, but he's sending rockets into cities and killing people, and I don't like it at all, okay? We're in the middle of talking, and he's shooting rockets into Kiev and other cities. I don't like it at all.
Mr. President, what do you want to do about that?
I'm surprised. I'm very surprised. We'll see what we're going to do. What am I going to tell you? You're the fake news, aren't you? You're totally fake. All right, any other questions? I don't like what Putin is doing, not even a little bit. He's killing people. And something happened to this guy, and I don't like it. Most importantly, you have millions of people dead.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Hello and welcome. You're watching Live and Breaking at 3 p.m. I am Tanisha Avasti. There's a huge escalation yet again in the Israel-Iran conflict. Remember, it has already entered day 8. There is massive destruction that has been seen, especially in the southern part of Israel. We're getting a lot more update on that top story. But first, a quick check of the headlines that we're tracking at this hour. Iran's foreign minister says his country is not seeking negotiations with anyone as long as Israel continues its strike on Iran. Israel says Iran targeted Beersheba with large missile strike today, but the Israeli Air Force destroyed the launchers before they fired.
बिहार में जंगल राज लाने वाले मौका देख रहे हैं कि किसी भी तरह फिर से अपने पुराने कारनामे करने का मौका ढूंढ रहे हैं.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi takes on opposition in poll-bound Bihar, says opposition wants to bring back the jungle Raj. Spate of Air India flight cancellations yet again. 7 Air India domestic and international flights cancelled due to maintenance and operational issues.
Second leg of Operation Langra continues in Uttar Pradesh. Criminals shot in encounters in 10 cities. Encounter underway between Maoists and police in Chhattisgarh's Kanker. One Maoist eliminated and his body has been recovered.
Brought the IEA credibility under big questions, that they took the side of Israeli in order to wage an unlawful military attack against Iran. The Iranian side has the right to defend itself as it's enshrined in Article 51 of United Nations Charter. And we will continue to defend our people, our country. And we actually continue until this aggression is condemned and stopped by international community. Let me ask you some question. You are the journalists, you are the people who actually are well aware of the situations going around. Okay, how many nuclear weapons Iran has got? 0. How many nuclear weapons has Israel got? 75 to 400. How many countries have been invaded by the Iran? 0. How many countries have been invaded by the Israel? 5. How many civilians were killed by Iran during 2023-2024? 0. How many people were killed, or civilians, by the Israelis? More than 75,000, mostly women and children in Gaza and other parts of the world. And the last question, who has been convicted as a war criminal by the ICC? Netanyahu, not the Iranian president, not Iranian officials. Okay, it is now you can judge who possess more threat to the world. This is the matter that we wanted that you know that we as an independent country who actually pay for its independence and will stand on its own feet, we are opposing the abuse of the other countries of some unbaseless excuses to attack or invade the other countries. We are not seeking for the war, but we are not bowing to any pressure, any kind of aggression. And we will stand on our feet to defend our people, our region. You know that Israelis are their allegation is that they are going to attack the Iranian nuclear facilities, which of course we say it is for the peaceful activities. But what would be the consequences if they succeed? Who will suffer? Just civilians, just the countries. Because of this one, we believe these aggressions should be stopped as soon as possible. It could be done via international joint effort. Those countries like India, who are the voice of the South, the big countries who actually are in favor of peace, they should coordinate and put pressure on Israel. But I think at the first step, they should condemn this action not to be happen in the future. In 1981, when Israeli they attacked the Iraqi nuclear reactor, the Security Council passed the resolution 478. They condemned such these actions to attack the nuclear facilities around the world. And they, by the article number 2, they warned and they wanted Israel not to repeat again. You see, Even the Israelis government, Israelis officials, they don't respect any regulations, anything, just their own goal, which is the supremacy in the region. And for the supremacy, they will sacrifice and they will kill whatever, whoever is in the way. They just, it is very ridiculous, they will play the role of the victim. They kill the people. Why they will say that we are the victim? It is ridiculous. This is the matter that we believe they cannot do anything more. The Iran is in favor of peace, in favor of, we can say, peace and actually not any more war in the world. And we are accepting, we are welcoming any initiation, but we don't accept anything which is imposed, even it is peace. As our leader mentioned, that we are not accepting imposed peace. The peace should be based on some basis. This base could be condemnation and stop the aggressor, and make this one not happen in the future. You know that this is a difficult time. We thank Indian people, Indian figures who actually sympathizes with us and who actually supporting. This is a time that I can say those who are actually friend in needs are friend in deeds. We don't forget any country, any government, any nation that they stood beside us to tackle such a disaggregation which has been made by one of the vicious regime in the world. And I thank you for this time to listening to my short speeches. Yes.
Hi sir, I'm Siwan. I have two small questions. First, when it comes to the evacuation of Indian nationals, how is Iranian government helping India? And my second question is, we have seen the Pakistani army chief going to US at a time when Iran, which is its neighbor, has been suffering the attack. So what do you have to say about the Pakistani presence? Because they discuss Iran as well, and there are reports that the American side is keen that Pakistan helps them in whatever plans they are making.
Regarding your first question, we are in a close contact with the MEA.
All right, so that was the press conference of the Iranian embassy in India, where they say that Iran is not in the favor of war, but in the favor of peace. But until and unless Israel continues to strike them, they will not bow down, and that Iran has every right to defend themselves and protect their people. Meanwhile, we move on to other breaking news that's coming in. More than 50 fighter jets have been attacked, selected targets of the nuclear weapons program and industrial sites for the production of missile components in Tehran overnight. So that's a huge escalation yet again that's coming to fore, where we learned that there have been more than 50 fighter jets that have been attacked, selected targets of the nuclear weapons program and industrial sites for the production of missile components in Tehran overnight. Remember, there have been back-to-back tit-for-tat strikes that have come to the fore, especially targeting of the nuclear areas. And in the latest, we learned that over 50 Israeli fighter jets have struck Tehran. All right, so the conflict has entered its day 8. It's in the second week of the conflict, where we learn that Israel has now confirmed that they have targeted 50 Israeli jets, and that most of them were of the weapons program and the industrial sites of the production of missile components, and this specifically has happened in Tehran. Remember, Iran is yet to respond to these. The IDF is making these claims, but what we do know so far is over the time, in about 8 days, where Israel and Iran have struck each other, most of them have been nuclear sites, be it in Tel Aviv or for this matter in Tehran. And that's the latest breaking news update that we're getting in, where 50 fighter jets of the Israeli have attacked the nuclear facility in Iran, Tehran to be specific in this case.
Meanwhile, as the escalation continues, Republic is on the front line. Republic is reporting from ground zero, giving you a ground report, a detailed report on where are those places which have been struck. Here is a report showing the aftermath from Israel's commercial capital. Take a look.
I'm currently standing in Bnei Brak, which is an ultra-Orthodox town located 3 to 4 kilometers from Tel Aviv. A direct Iranian missile hit this town 3 to 4 days back, and you can see behind me most of the buildings were affected, and there was a school which is located right opposite to me for disabled students where over 300 students study, and the school was also affected. You can see clearly what we have shown in the other videos, that this is also one of the civilian areas which was impacted, and almost all the missiles that were targeted by the Iranian regime has only been targeted on civilian population and civilian areas. I'll try to pan my camera and show you what it looks from behind.
More breaking news coming in. Israel has released a video which appears to show a missile fragment hitting the ground in Israel after interception. The municipality of the Yehuda in Israel released a video on Friday that appears to show a fragment hitting the ground after a missile from Iran was intercepted. So that's a big blow to Iran, where another missile has been intercepted by Israel. This is a video that has been released by Israel, where you can see how a missile fragment hit to the ground in Israel after interception. The municipality of Yehuda in Israel has released this video on just a few moments back that appears to show a fragment of a missile that the Iran had fired hitting the ground after it was intercepted by the Israelis. All right, joining us live on that is Nick from Tel Aviv. Nick, there's a recent video that we are showing it to our viewers where Israel has intercepted another missile that Iran had fired. It had hit the ground. The fragments are being seen. What is the current situation on ground like?
Now I'm the center of Tel Aviv. This is the street of Dizengoff, and here you can see again, cafes are open, restaurants are open. Many people are going outside, although of those barrages of rockets, but people still want to continue to live their lives. And I want to show you something amazing. This is one of the bars in the center of Tel Aviv. And what they are saying that we have here a good bomb shelters, which are good enough for you, and they are close to here. And it shows you that the most important thing now for the Israelis is to have bomb shelters next to them. It's not a good drink or meal, but it is to be safe. And this is the situation in Israel already for 1 week, that Israelis are under constant barrage of rockets from Iran, like the one that you showed in Or Yehuda, the city in the center of Israel. And those residential areas, like here behind me, are the targets of the Iranian ballistic missiles. Some of them have illegal ammunition, cluster bombs, which full of small bombs. It's a one big ballistic missile that spreading a lot of smaller bombs, and they can damage a lot of people and places all around. So right now, the situation now in the center of Israel is calm, because Israelis, after decades of this kind of atmosphere with a continuous war against the proxies of Iran in Lebanon, in Gaza, in Syria, in Iraq, in Yemen, they are used to this kind of reality of constant barrages of rockets and terror attacks, and they know that they need to continue to live in some way. Back to you.
Right, Nick. Thank you very much for sharing those details. We will keep coming back to you as and when there are more updates on the story. For now, we move on to some more breaking news that's coming in. And as a part of Operation Safe Return, a passenger ship returned to Israel from Cyprus and was received this morning at the port of Ashdod in Israel. So this is a part of Operation Safe Return, where we are looking at how a passenger ship that has returned to Israel from Cyprus and was received this morning at the port of Ashdod in Israel. Remember, Israel has initiated Operation Safe Return, visuals of which are on your screen, and as a result, one of the ship has landed in Ashdod in Israel, where citizens are being evacuated for their safe return. They're being moved to safer areas. Nick again is joining me live on the broadcast. He's staying with us, in fact. Nick, talk to us about what this operation is all about and what is it aiming at.
Yes, so many Israelis, about 100,050, are stuck abroad. And Israel, maybe this is the only nation that people want to come back to the country while there is a war erupting in their region, because the people here are patriotic and they understand that this is war of survival, and they want to be close to their friends, to their families, loved ones, those who can support the army, supporting the army, or going to the army as a reservists. And this is the way of them to come back to Israel and support Israel, because the airspace is closed. So there are not many ways that Israelis can come back to Israel. Israel is surrounded by not such a friendly countries, and that's why it's hard for Israelis to go back to Israel. But still, they are trying to do it via the sea with the ships that even the national airline of Israel, El Al, rented some of those ships in order to return back their passengers whose flights were canceled. And now from Israel, it is really hard to go out, but Israel tries to bring back all the people, and some of them are coming also with flights, but those flights are not introduced to the public. They don't want that Iran will know exactly when those flights are landing in Israel, because it's really dangerous because of those barrages of rockets. So Israel tries to find some slots for those commercial flights in order to bring back its citizens, but they are not taking people from the airport because it takes much longer to do check-in for new passengers, but to take people out of the plane is much faster and it is more secure. So that's why Israel is doing this operation, which they call it the return home, and the rescue operation of Israelis that stuck abroad. Back to you.
Right. Nick, thank you very much for sharing those details. Meanwhile, it is the Iranian foreign minister who has said that Iran is not seeking negotiations with anyone as long as Israeli attacks continue. Now, the Israeli foreign minister is set to meet with the representatives from different countries like that of Britain, Germany, France and European Union in Geneva. Here's the soundbite that you need to hear about what he said on no negotiations at all.
تهاجمات رژیم صهیونیستی ادامه داره، خواهان مذاکره با هیچ کسی نیستیم. الحمدلله مقاومت جانانه‌ای که نیروهای مسلح ما کردن به تدریج داره آشکار میکنه که اون فکری که اینها کرده بودن که مثلا با یک سری ضربات برق‌آسا میتونن ملت ایران تسلیم کنن، یک فکر باطل. ما در شرایط حاضر و در شرایطی که تهاجمات رژیم صهیونیستی ادامه داره، خواهان مذاکره با هیچ کسی نیستیم. الحمدلله مقاومت جانانه‌ای که نیروهای مسلح ما کردن به تدریج داره آشکار میکنه که اون فکری که اینها کرده بودن که مثلا با یک سری ضربات برق‌آسا میتونن ملت ایران تسلیم کنن، یک فکر باطل.
That was the statement of the Iranian foreign minister. Meanwhile, we are getting a lot more updates on the raging conflict. Let's take a look at some of them. Israel has stated that Iran's attack on a hospital and residential building were a violation of international law. Israeli army spokesperson has said that there is no doubt that the Iranian regime deliberately and maliciously shot at the hospital and a population center with the aim of harming the civilians. Iran has launched a new attack on southern Israel. A fire erupted and cars were set ablaze following the attack, which took place today. The Israeli army stated the sirens were sounded in several areas across Israel following the identification of missiles launched from Iran towards Israel. The emergency services have not reported any casualties, but released video shows car on fire and a big cloud of smoke rising near some buildings. The Israel Defense Forces has stated that the Israeli Air Force and Navy have intercepted hundreds of UAVs launched from Iran. As per reports, over 95% of threatening drones were successfully neutralized. Aerial defense systems, observation units, missile ships and aircrafts are working in coordinated 24/7 operations to protect Israeli airspace. These efforts run parallel to offensive strikes which are aimed at degrading Iran's firepower. The intercepted drones and missiles were intended to strike Israeli population centers, underscoring the ongoing threat to civilians. President of Israel arrived at Socorro Hospital in Beersheba this morning. There he met the director of the hospital, Professor Shlomi, along with doctors, nurses and patients. He said that the Jews and Muslims were both present and together have looked at the destruction and devastation caused by Iranian missile that was fired indiscriminately with the sole intention of taking innocent lives in the hospital. He emphasized this is a war crime. And it's time for us to slip into a short break, but after the break we'll get to that statement of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who was in poll-bound Bihar, where he has hit out at the opposition with his Jungle Raj jibe. Also after the break are details of how there is spate of Air India flight cancellations. Yet again, we'll get the details of how many international and domestic flights have been cancelled just today.
विमल में गुलिस्तां के ये कुछ लजीज फरिश्ते जब साथ घुलें तो जी ललचाए और दिल कहे कि स्वाद की जुबान में खुद को ऐसे डुबाऊं कि निकल ना पाऊं। विमल की जुबान कुछ है ही ऐसी, मानते हैं? विमल, बोलो जुबान कैसी?
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
כל המיון. תראו את כולם רצים, תראו את האנשים, תראו את האנשים.
Early this morning, an Iranian ballistic missile directly hit the Soroka hospital in Beersheba. This hospital serves over 1 million Israelis, including Bedouins, Jews, Christians, and Arabs alike. Iran targeting civilian centers with ballistic missiles is no surprise for us. They have been openly declaring their desire to destroy the state of Israel for decades now.
את המצב של חמינאי, היטלר המודרני. אדם עומד עשרות שנים בראש מעצמה. יש לו השפעה אידיאולוגית רבה. הוא מפעיל אותה ואומר שהוא בעד השמדת ישראל. הוא מפעיל את כל המשאבים גם על חשבון העם שלו.
I have seen what it takes to report from the front lines. Accuracy, courage, urgency and responsibility. At Republic School of Journalism, you will be trained for that reality. It is not theory. It is live learning from inside a working newsroom from day one. If you want to report the truth when it matters the most, Republic School of Journalism is where you begin. Course begins on the 30th of June. Apply now.
बिबल में गुलिस्तां की ये कुछ लजीज फरिश्ते जब साथ गुले तो जी ललचाए और दिल कहे कि स्वाद की इस जुबां में खुद को ऐसा डुबाऊं कि निकल ना पाऊं। विमल की जुबान कुछ है ही ऐसी, मानते हैं ना? विमल, बोलो जुबां केसरी।
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
וואי, יש שם, זה לא נפילות?
זה נפילות, אבא, זה נפילות.